join me. Perhaps you may be able to help solve a mystery.
Oh, that guy. The guy's a legend, man.
That's the best.
How good is he?
That was the best intro ever.
Best intro ever. How you going, man?
Welcome to.
And today on Unsolved Mysteries. I love him. He's like, I was saying it to you before. I just love how he just comes out. Yeah, Robert Stack. And he's like, today you can help solve a mystery. Will it be you? Will it be someone else? We'll find out after these 4 stories of unsolved mysteries.
I do like that.
He's the best.
And I just found out that, not found out, I just remembered that he was on basketball.
Oh, yeah. Remember when they kept playing it and it was like, and Trey Parker, the guy that is the blonde one, he's like watching it and he's like associating with it. And he's going, oh, yeah. And then he starts freaking out because the guy's saying shit about his life. And he's like, what?
It's funny as, man. No, I used to love that show. But,
Joy reckons season 6 and 7 best intros.
I had to do it quick to find it, but we found it, and then but guys, welcome in to the show, HFD Podcast, back again. KP, how you going, man?
I'm good, man. What was the guy? Does Joy know? What's the guy that took over from Robert Stack? That Italian guy that was in Snatch. He started doing and he's a bit more suave when he would do the Unsolved Mysteries. Curtis said he's looking forward to tonight, and he says hello.
Hey, Curtis, how are you, man?
What up, Curtis?
Welcome in, man. Welcome in. Big show today, man.
Big show, man.
Big show.
Big show. I was meant to put him in.
You're supposed to put it into the Discord, yes.
Let everyone know.
Let everyone know that we're going live. But yeah, guys, Unsolved Mysteries. There's a lot to go through. And if you got any of them in the chat, put them in there, and we'll see if we can.
You know the thing
research them quickly.
Sorry, the thing about Unsolved Mysteries is when we started saying it, we said, "Oh, Dennis Farina." That's right. That's the guy's name that took over from.
Right.
When we said we're going to do it as a topic. DB Cooper, someone's already said it.
I've got that one. I'll be talking about that one.
Yeah. So.
Oh, Texas Chainsaw is saying hi.
Nathan.
Hey, Nathan.
Texas Chainsaw Nathan.
Love you.
See how it's his nickname now because of me?
Is Texas Chainsaw Massacre? That's not.
It's not.
That's true.
Well, no, it's not true. Texas Chainsaw Massacre was loosely based on a serial killer called Ed Gein, and he was killing people.
Yeah, it's Ivan Milat.
He was eating them and putting their skin. He was sort of like the Snowtown, keeping bodies and and he was like a simpleton, and he was but it was in the 20s or something. Ed Gein, I think it was.
All right.
But yeah.
But there's a lot. I'm going to say the DB Cooper one.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. What I was saying was, when we said we're going to do it as a topic, what I love about this topic is, Chris, straight away, when you're doing this topic, you start going and researching them.
Yeah.
And then you come across ones and you're like, fuck. And then Chris was sending me pictures of DB Cooper and all that. And you go down a rabbit hole of them, don't you? Because you want to learn about them, and it mind boggles you that they haven't worked them out. That's why I like this topic.
It's interesting. It's very interesting. And then there's some close to home.
There is.
Very close to home.
There is some
for us anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'll mention those ones too.
Well, the big one that we will talk about it, obviously, the Beaumont children.
That's the one I'm going to talk about.
Has been ongoing since the 60s. It's an unsolved mystery since 66, I think.
Is it 66?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, January 1966.
There you go. So we're going to talk about that. Jack the Ripper, I believe, Joy, is one of the oldest unsolved mysteries.
You did mention that.
Ever. The only reason I didn't want to talk about it is because it's been done so much. The Jack the Ripper one. It's there's even theories that they think it wasn't even the same guy because it's the killing spanned over
so many years.
Yeah, but then there's the theories they think he was a doctor because it was very surgical the way he did things, but he's sort of the first serial killer, isn't he?
Correct.
I guess. Yeah.
That's right, Joy. Glenelg Beach is where they
Glenelg Beach,
Australia Day. Yeah, 1966. Sad day for
so you know
family.
You know how there's all these things they always want to change Australia Day. Why don't they bring that up in it as well? Say, man, we should change it because of this horrific thing happened on that day as well. And then people will be like, oh, yeah.
Because you know what? Only people from Adelaide really remember the Beaumont children.
Know about it, yeah.
You know, if you ask someone from like
Yeah.
Brisbane, they'll go, "What? Beaumont children?"
Well, I'm sure if that same thing happened now with all the internet and publicity, it would get notoriety like worldwide.
Well, kids
But
go
because
missing now, but it's just you don't hear about
well,
it.
what
as
I mean,
much.
because it happened in the 60s, there's no internet, there's no social media,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
probably not as much TV coverage, there's not as whatever. It didn't get as much.
And a lot of kids that go
notoriety.
missing now, like homeless kids.
Yeah.
that
There'd
we
be
don't-
so many.
Yeah.
Great idea, Joy reckons. I was saying they should mention that for about Australia Day change.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea. Well, I don't know, man. Do you want to start with yours or should I start with mine?
I reckon you start with one, man. Or do you want me to? It's up to you. I'm not fast.
Well, since we're talking about Beaumont children,
Beaumont children, let's start with it. Why not? I can't believe Texas Chainsaw said hello.
I know.
And when he saw me that day, just runs up, gives me high five
I know.
all time.
Well, this one's close to the this one's really close to the heart because we're from here.
Yeah.
We're from Adelaide, and this happened before our time. But
It actually happened even before
the Don was here.
before he came to Australia.
Yeah,
three years
actually,
before.
my dad came in '68, so it happened before he came here.
So-
My mum was here though.
Some of our family would have been here, wouldn't they? Like we had a few, my uncles and that. If you had a few people here, when it
My
happened.
mum would have been 6, so she would have been sort of the ages of the kids.
Yep.
So on a summer's day, 1966, January, it was Australia Day. Jane, Arana, and Grant Beaumont boarded a bus to the nearby Glenelg Beach and never returned. It was Australia Day, as I said, when the Beaumont children disappeared in a case that would hound investigators for decades. Indeed, it's currently the nation's longest running missing persons case.
There you go. The nations. It's the nation.
Number one.
Well, we were talking about it before you go on. And my dad was saying Con Pilates got them to excavate an area one day back.
Did.
I don't know. He's not alive anymore, but I remember it was big news when he did it because they thought they knew where the bodies were. And obviously it wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, they did excavate a few places.
They've done it, the heaps of them, yeah.
On that day, 9-year-old Jane Beaumont had chaperoned her sister, 7-year-old Arana, and brother, 4-year-old Grant, to Glenelg Beach. This is not the children's first unsupervised outing. Now, back then, in the 60s, it was so common for kids to just go out and about by themselves. There wasn't as much crime as there is now.
Bro. Well, we've talked about it before. Even us growing up, we were born in the 80s and that. We used to go and sleep on the front lawn and shit. Like, didn't even lock the door. Like, it wasn't.
100%.
It was like.
Yeah, so it was carefree back then. It wasn't as much crime. This was not the So besides the beach was only 5 minutes away and a ride away from their house. The Beaumont children had always returned home safely. So they should do this frequently, and they used to always come home safely. So it was like routine for the parents, I guess. Like they just knew that they're going to come back and
didn't think anything.
No. As their parents and police launched a years-long quest to find them, the disappearance of the Beaumont children became one of the most sensational stories in the country. Though some witnesses have come forward regarding a suspicious man lurking the kids away, he was never identified, and no signs of life surfaced in the ensuing years. More than half a century later, the mystery of the Beaumont children had remained unsolved.
So the thing that trips me out about the Beaumont children thing is that there's never been, obviously, they've never found the person or persons that killed them, and they've never found the bodies. It's like
that's the crazy thing.
Full on.
It's full on.
Like they've never found anything.
Nothing,
really. No evidence.
Nothing.
Yeah.
The fateful day was particularly sweltering one. So it was a hot day. Glenelg Beach was bursting with locals searching for relief in ocean breeze and in the dip of the water. Jane, Arana, and Grant were no different and took the 8:45 a.m. bus to get to the shore early. They were expected to return on either the noon or 2 p.m. bus, but never returned. But never did. The children's father, Jim, returned from work around 3 p.m. and drove to Glenelg Beach to find his kids. He checked the bus stop and combed the beach, but to no avail. Jim and his wife, Nancy, then knocked on some doors in their neighborhood. When that proved fruitless, the couple reported their children missing at the Glenelg police station at 7:30 p.m. By the next day, A reward of $250 was offered to the public for any information leading to the kids' discovery. Now, $250 back then
Oh yeah,
was big money.
1966.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, that's course.
You know, it's like maybe $1,000 now.
Yeah, probably more.
Maybe more.
Maybe more, don't you think?
Yeah,
That's-
maybe more. Maybe
yeah.
1,500.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
And there's articles and that here.
But in context of what that 250 is worth back then,
well,
you know what I mean? That's in the
con-
context of
well,
it.
in context, right now there is still a reward, and there's a $1 million reward
Yeah.
for any information leading to the safe return.
Like, to put it into context, I
Today.
wonder what the weekly wage was in 1966. It was probably
I know, but the
Yes, I don't
information the Beaumonts received about their children was few and far between. The local marina was drained when a woman reported having spoken to 3 children matching the Beaumont siblings' descriptions there on January 26th.
what they drained the marina
Yeah.
back then.
Yeah, they did to see if they were in there,
Shit.
but nothing was found.
Fuck.
Because someone said they saw him. Witnesses at Glenelg Beach that day spoke to a tall, slender man in his 30s. He was described as a sun-baked swimmer in a blue Speedo and was seen shepherding a group of kids into the distance. Some record the children being rather comfortable with the stranger, as if they knew him. Investigators later discovered that Anna had previously told her mother that Jane got a boyfriend down the beach. Initially dismissed as a cheeky joke about some boy Jane met on a previous outing, it now appeared to Nancy Beaumont that perhaps the sun-baked predator had befriended her child long ago. So this is just like what they were thinking.
Joy says no one will ever get that 1 million. And Ivan says $250 could buy you a horse and a pony back then.
Probably. I don't know.
1 million? I'm shocked that it's
Probably.
been going on since and the reward is only 1 million.
I know. It's crazy,
I
huh?
would have thought it'd been like more than that. Like,
I think no one even thinks about it now, man. But
probably not. Probably not.
when the sun-baked suspects sketch plastered across the news, hundreds called into police claiming to have seen them that day, yet nothing came of this. So there was a lot of people that saw him.
Yeah. Well,
Apparently.
packed Glenelg
Packed
Beach,
Beach.
Adelaide. The population of Adelaide, then everyone probably knew each other.
I know. The Beaumont children, locals formed a citizen action committee to raise $40,000 to demolish and excavate the site. It took a year, but that dig began and ended at authorities. Hold on, have I missed something here?
The question I asked, so the
There was
parents were the parents wealthy, or they were just average,
I think they were just average,
just common
common like,
people?
They weren't. They were just
commoners?
commoners.
Okay, yeah, just asking.
Like me and
Just-
you.
yeah, just asking. I didn't know. I was unsure.
There was Adelaide Oval. I've got that one too.
We want to talk about that one.
We
too,
got
yeah.
that one too. We'll do this. We'll go to
Yeah,
you after.
we'll
And
go
then
that
there's
one
one at Adelaide Oval that
Yeah.
was as well. Another lead. There was another lead alleged that the Beaumont children were living in the mud islands of Victoria. The
my
entire crew of the British freighter station there at the time was questioned in 1968, but this too yielded nothing. More promising were the claims of a Perth woman
Mhm.
who revealed that for 9 months in 1966, she had lived next door to the children in a desolate railway town between West and South Australia, but no clues were found there either.
Oh, so they're saying she was in like a desolate
Yeah.
town, and it was,
Yeah.
and she lived next to them.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Tragically, locals began to suspect the children's own mother of being involved.
It happens. That's what happens with all of them. The parents, they say, I was reading this thing about the one that I want to read, and they reckon, I think it's a 12 in 1 chance. Here's what the FBI say. It's a 12 in 1 chance that the parents are involved when it's something, kids go missing,
12 in 1.
which is
That's
not
crazy.
not much.
Not much. No.
Or 1 in 12, whatever, yeah.
Then in March 1986, the case appeared on the brink of being solved when authorities found 3 suitcases
Oh.
in a residential garbage can. These cases were stuffed with newspaper clippings about the children, with lines and headlines crossed out, ominous comments scrawled in red ink.
Shit.
Not in the sand hills, in the sewer drains, one comment read. It was soon discovered that these were merely the scraps of an elderly amateur sleuth who had been passionately following the case, and their relatives threw these documents out when she died.
Isn't it funny that there was sleuths back then, even before? Now they say there's all these internet sleuths when there's mysteries. There was ones back then that just collected newspapers and shit.
Yeah, that's right. They did. And they were just obsessed with it.
Sleuths, yeah.
In 1997, a former detective on the case named Stanley Swain became convinced that a woman in Canberra was actually adult Jane Beaumont.
Oh my God.
Police looked into and questioned the woman, but determined she wasn't. There's a lot of
there's just so many.
clutching at straws, man, because they're trying to find them.
Yeah. Amanda says the mother was definitely not involved.
Yeah, Amanda.
Joy says unrelated, but Madeleine McCann's parents have to be responsible for their daughter's disappearance. Makes no sense. Yeah.
So police looked into the question of the woman, but determined she wasn't that a convicted child. These doesn't make sense. There was other people that they looked into as well and interviewed. Some child murderers.
Yeah.
James O'Neill could have been the abductor. Another child killer, Derek Percy, was interviewed in connection as well, but both thoroughly ruled out. So it wasn't them. Most promising were the revelation of Sue Laurie in 1998. She publicly recalled witnessing a dispute between her grandfather and a crying granddaughter at an Adelaide soccer game in 1973. The girl was kicking him in the shins as he escorted him out of the stadium.
What, like at West Adelaide or
Must have been, yeah.
or Adelaide City?
Yeah. Well, that's what it says here. At an Adelaide soccer game in 1973. When was Adelaide? What was this?
West Adelaide and that were around, yeah. They won the championship in 76, 77.
Yeah, so it would have been around those days. Like, Laurie discovered years later that the two weren't related at all, and the young girl was never seen again. Numerous witnesses have provided police with the description of the man who was a thin in his 40s and looked identical to the 1966 police sketch. Maybe it was the same guy.
Maybe. Amanda says, tell them about the mum. Joy says, did they do a lie detector test? So a polygraph he's talking about. And Zakal says, hi, KP, Chrissy, and everyone on the live chat. Hey, Zakal, how are you, man?
I'll quickly tell you what Amanda's saying. So basically, Amanda used to work in a nursing home, and
I know you've told me this, but
and the mum was the actual. She was the actual patient. She was living in the nursing home. And she was there was people that couldn't visit her.
Yeah. Probably, yeah.
Because of certain reasons.
Oh, because she's a person of interest. That's
why.
So
people couldn't. She had I think police.
She would have.
Yeah, and you couldn't go in there. But Amanda felt really. She would never sleep at night. Yeah, see, she would never sleep at night, and her life just was ruined, man. Like after this, so if she couldn't do that, unless she's guilt, and this is guilt, I don't know. There could be guilt, I don't know, but 100%. I don't think what I've been told by Amanda, it wasn't. She had nothing to do with it. But you said 12-1, man. That's crazy.
What the FBI,
that's crazy.
Because the one that I'm going to talk about, obviously, is a kid again, and it's one of the biggest ones in the world, to do with kid, and that they're that's what the FBI reckon. It's 1 in 12 that it's the parents.
Yeah,
which is that's fucking disgusting.
I just don't think.
I'm not saying she's guilty.
I don't think so, but
no,
you just never know. Then the rabbit hole deepened in 2013 when two brothers told police that a factory owner named Harry Phipps. Is it Phipps? Is that Phipps?
Harry Phipps.
Harry Phipps had asked them to dig a ditch on the property on Australia 1966. So there was a property in, where was it? Investigators excavated the site. I think there was a, where was this? Doesn't say where it was. But there was a site where...
I think they've dug up a lot of sites.
Yeah, they dug up, and there was no human bones there. Phipps, he owned like a factory somewhere in Adelaide, and there was a lead that maybe that they were buried under his factory. They went there and... because nonetheless, Phipps's own son revealed that his father had sexually molested him as a child and that he believed his father was involved in the Beaumont children's disappearance. So that's why he was targeted, and that's why they thought the factory where he was. Yeah. See, there's that one.
Joy says, like, Amanda and Joy are saying, like, it's hard to watch her for all those years, saying parents' worst nightmare. But then, like we said, parents' worst nightmare. But then when you find out that when it's a child missing, 1 in 12 chance it's the parents, it's sickening.
It is.
Like what?
But we're not saying it's. We're not saying.
No,
it's
I'm not saying it's her. We're
No.
just saying.
In 2016, authorities questioned a child molester who'd been in Adelaide in 1966, working as a Boy Scout leader and living in Glenelg Beach. Yet again, no irrefutable proof emerged. In the end, the case remains unsolved. Nancy Beaumont died, here we go, in a nursing home at the age of 92 years old in 2019. Her husband, whom she separated from the admits of the trauma of 1966, is still alive and living in Adelaide. I think he might be dead now. I'm not sure. Maybe, this might be a bit old.
Zakal says, was this on 60 Minutes?
They would have.
It would have been on there many times, man. You just search Google Beaumont Children, Zakal, and you'll be able to.
The Beaumont Children disappearance remains the longest running missing person case in Australian history. Books, TV, movies, and true crime podcasts continue to explore the case. But the sad truth might be that Beaumont children are long dead, still captive, or living freely in a purposely anonymity. I think they're dead.
You know what? Is one of the big possibilities? You know, like they were out on Australia Day swimming. What if they got washed out to sea? You're never finding them.
Oh no!
Like, what if it was something like you know, that's why. What if that's the reason they've never found them? What if they got washed out in the ocean? You're never finding those bodies. You're never finding.
I mean, that's a possibility. Yes, but there was witnesses that saw them with someone.
Yeah, I know. I'm just,
So. Let me look. The Beaumont children was a very horrible case, and you feel for all the people that were involved and the parents and this and that. I just want to tell you that I've done research on this, and I found this lady. Now, I'm not saying she's right.
Wait a second. Wait. Before you keep going.
Oh, sorry.
I believe that we did this on. Wait a second. I believe we spoke about this on.
We haven't spoken about this on the
You brought up the Beaumont children on there. When we were doing Rogan Files. Like back ages ago.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, Rogan Files. So Rogan Files was a segment that we used to do years ago when we first started the podcast. So
there you go.
It was about conspiracies. But basically, yeah, so for you guys that are interested to find out a bit more, I'm not saying that the information that I'm about to give you is correct. You got to actually watch it and then take it into your own account. But there's this lady that I found on YouTube, and she has a testimony. Her name is Rachel Vaughn. If you type in Rachel Vaughn testimony in YouTube, it will come up with her. It'll come up with her testimony, and I'm telling you right now, if the stuff she says is true, it's damning. And she talks about the Beaumont kids. She talks about how her father was involved. She talks about how she was molested as a kid. She talks about the underworld and how it's all connected to the government and the police. And she always talks about rituals, sacrificing children, the tunnels. We know there's tunnels. She talks about the tunnels underneath Adelaide, and we've seen them firsthand in our school. There was one in the boys' toilets.
Oh yeah.
So, and she lived in Edwardstown, so there's tunnels all running under there. Watch her, as I said, Rachel Vaughn. It is damning. So when you hear what she says, it is shocking, but it's up to you if you want to believe it. Okay. The authorities say she's crazy. To me, she looks normal as anything. But as I said, you need to watch it and make your own decisions on it. Because anyone can say anything really. But yeah, Rachel Vaughn, guys, check it out on YouTube.
Joy says, I kind of hope KP's theory is true. At least no foul play. I'm not saying it's more. I'm just saying that it's a possibility. They're out at sea. Like I don't.
It could be. I don't know. It's very but I my personal opinion, I reckon they've been taken, and it's I'm leaning towards like the way Rachel Vaughn explains it. It's very but then again, she could be wrong. I'm not. You can never be 100% in these things, but it's very interesting. But go check it out, Rachel Vaughn. But yeah, Beaumont children. If you're listening or you in the spiritual world, hope you're doing well.
Do you think technology could maybe solve this case, or you reckon there's absolutely no hope for this case? I don't think there's a case because technology can only help if you've got DNA and there's nothing. There's no sign of their bodies.
Look.
So what's technology going to do? But I don't know.
At the end of the day, right? If one day, I mean, this is another conspiracy theory, but if there is an alien, what they reckon, an alien satellite going around the Earth, like I've heard about, and it's recording everything we do, that's probably the only way, if that's true, that you can get that data.
Maybe it wasn't recording in 1966 though.
But you know what I mean? So yeah, that's only what I mean. Yeah. So unless you've got something that's out of this world that could find out,
I just don't think DNA things. There's no.
Well, it's gone, man. Nothing.
Because
there's nothing.
There's no. They can't go get a DNA sample from the kids because they don't exist.
Exactly.
So I don't know how that helps. It's not.
Just go watch that Rachel Vaughn thing, and then next week, Joy, I reckon you go have a look. Let me know what you think. Anyway,
what do you reckon happened?
I reckon they got taken,
and then bye-bye, and then just.
I think there's sickos out there that do these sicko things, and they were just unlucky, and they.
Like, remember that movie we
got rid of them,
remember that movie we watched, Hereditary.
Yeah.
At the end, they're doing the ritual and shit.
Yeah, it's all that shit. So, I reckon there's a lot of stuff like that happening. It probably still happens now. I reckon it still does.
100%.
But yeah. I mean, my sister nearly got kidnapped twice, man. Twice. If you ask my sister, she can tell you some stories, man, about when she got kidnapped twice, man. And it's scary. Like, there's just sickos out there, man.
Oh, big time.
And I think a lot of these sickos are in high positions.
Probably.
We'll talk about the Adelaide Oval one too, after the KP's one. So,
Joy says, I reckon abducted and taken, long gone from Adelaide.
Yeah. All right. When you watch the Rachel Vaughn thing, she actually says where she thinks they are. So
yeah, but she thinks their bodies are still here, doesn't she?
She thinks they're on the York Peninsula. That's what she thinks.
Yeah, but in the South Australia.
That's what she thinks. Yeah. But yeah, just go have a look. What? Seriously, Chris? What the heck? It's crazy.
You're saying that your sister almost got kidnapped.
Yeah, she did, man. Yeah, she did. I remember she was in Unley, and she was visiting my uncle, and she was just riding a bike, and this guy tried to corner her in the car and grab her, and she went to my auntie's house and just started screaming, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's how close it came. So yeah.
If she knows, then wouldn't they have found a clue by now? Yeah, but she claims that they claim she's crazy.
And that it's
you gotta watch it.
It's a government cover up. You gotta watch it. It's hard for me to explain it. So, and a lot of the higher ups are involved. So it's easy if you're higher up to shush stuff.
What I don't get is why are they higher? That's why I asked the question of if they were commoners. Why are they higher ups involved if they were just common children?
No, not about the family. It's about what the higher ups did to the kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and they can expose what they're like. That's all. They could have picked any kid, man. It could have been, anyone. They were just unlucky. Anyway.
I reckon it was probably just some sicko.
Definitely.
That just, yeah. And it was probably a lot easier to get rid of bodies back then.
Probably. Yeah, it's possible, man.
You could have chucked
That's
bodies.
not possible, but...
That's what I mean. Like, some sicko kidnapped them, probably raped them.
But the thing
not
to find them.
Yeah, but there is body. There's other.
Yeah, but normally you find them, man.
Now there's other like serial killers where there's still bodies unaccounted for because the world's big. The world's a big place.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. Back then, it was probably, like you said, before it got put into an investigation. They probably had so much more time to get rid of a body than these sickos do now. Now it's probably. Yeah. It's probably still not even quick enough now. Now I think a missing person has to be gone for 48 hours or something, which is stupid, really, when you think about it. Like, you know, as a father, if your kid doesn't come home, right, they're missing, but the cops will tell you, you got to wait 48 hours. That's bullshit. No, but that's what I'm saying. That's stupid. Back then, it was probably longer. 1966. These sickos probably had time to go get rid of a body and God knows, do what else.
Unbelievable.
Maybe a jinn took the children. They burn them so they can never be discovered. Yeah, but
I don't know.
Like even when there's burn, we're going to talk about that one. Bone, I don't think burns unless it's like in an incinerator, like cremated. It has to be to a certain temperature. Otherwise, it doesn't. It just and not many things can, unless houses had furnaces back then that they put the kids in a furnace. I don't know. Just the tunnel system as well. That there's all these tunnels everywhere, and they used to use them. That's what she reckons. So to traffic. So of course they did. They used them for trafficking. They used them for alcohol.
I know.
They used them for all sorts of crap.
Where is everyone, man? One person in the chat. What's going on?
Apparently. Mate, is it because we went early? I don't know.
Joy's in there. That's all that matters.
Gasoline and light. Yeah, but we know. I think the numbers are wrong because I'm watching it.
It must be wrong.
And that's watching it.
It's definitely wrong.
Yeah. Gasoline and light in forest, not sure. Yeah, I don't think that's hot enough to burn bone. Like just a fire, like it has to be.
Yeah.
You know what? Does that? I don't know how to explain, but it has to be like a furnace temperature, like extreme heat to burn bone, like to make it emulsify, or whatever you want.
Whatever happened to them? It's horrible, man.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, you go next one. Man. What's yours?
Secret under. Johnny says hello.
Hey, Johnny.
And Joy says, secret underground government may be rigging YouTube numbers, 100%.
It says one. We got definitely more than one in the chat, man. It's
not one.
It's definitely not one. All right.
Well, the one I wanted to talk about was another children's one.
Yeah, what was it?
Child. But it's in America. And this one I think is got the most notoriety out of, like, worldwide, obviously, because it happened in America. Was the John Bennett Ramsey case.
What's that? I've heard of that.
So, I'll read it. I'll read what happened.
So is this another murder?
It is in the end, but
for the way it happened.
It's still unsolved. Like to this day, they don't. Yeah, I'll read it. So, John Bennett Patricia Ramsey, August 6, 1990, she was born. Died December 25th. So Christmas Day. 1996. She was 6 years old. Was an American child beauty queen who was killed at the age of 6 in her family's home in Boulder, Colorado. A long handwritten ransom note was found in the home. Her father, John, found the girl's body in the basement of their house about 7 hours after she had been reported missing, right? She had sustained a broken skull from a blow to the head, had been strangled. A garrote was found tied around her neck like a cord. The autopsy reported that John Bennett's official cause of death was asphyxia by strangulation associated with craniocerebral trauma. Her death was ruled a homicide. The case generated worldwide public and media interest, in part because her mother, Patsy Ramsey, a former beauty queen, had entered John Bennett into a series of child beauty pageants. The crime is still considered a cold case and remains an open investigation with the Boulder Police Department. So it's still open. So I'll read a few of the things into it, but it got handed over to the DA's office. It got handed to the FBI. Then it got put back to the Boulder Police Department. It's been passed through like...
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah. So
that's weird, man.
It's crazy. What happened was... So the Boulder police initially suspected that the ransom note had been written by Patsy, which is the mum, right? And that the note and appearance of John Bennett's body had been staged by her parents in order to cover up the murder.
But why'd they do it?
No one knows, but this is one of the theories. In 1999, the police and district attorney both said that John Bennett's brother Burke, who was 9 years old at the time of death, was not a suspect. So he's the only one that was in the house that's not considered a suspect to this day. Is the brother. He was 9 years old.
Yeah. He was in the house when that happened?
He was in the house. They all were. That's the thing. She rang up and reported her daughter missing. She rang up and said, I've got a ransom note. This is how it happened. She rang up and goes, there's a ransom note. And then The cops came there, looked around, and then 7 hours later, the dad found her in the basement.
That doesn't make sense, man.
Yeah, so,
but they can't prove nothing.
Nothing's been proven to this day.
But
I'll
how
read-
about
I'll read it.
DNA testing?
They did DNA testing later, and they found traces of DNA of like a male, but the DNA, like the guys that did it, said that sort of DNA can get in contact with someone like from a brush of a skit. Like it's not saying that someone's guilty, or it's very inconclusive. And
right, okay.
they've said, they always say to this day, the dad found her, picked her up, and went upstairs. They say to this day that the crime scene is very tampered with.
Oh, but isn't that collusion like
Exactly. So here we go. So,
interesting?
and this is where I was reading about the 12-in-1 thing. So here, investigation, all right? Where are we going here? I'll go to... Sorry, I won't read that one. Evidence, here we go. According to statement that Patsy gave to... And this is what the thing is. Apparently the parents, John and Patsy, very non-cooperative. Like the whole time. She passed away now of cancer in 2006, the mum.
The mum.
Yeah.
They weren't cooperative with the case.
Very non-cooperative, right?
Definitely them men. But the reason, what's the reason? That's the question.
I reckon that one of the theories is they reckon Patsy or John, something happened and they like hit her and accidentally killed her. Oh. So then they wrote a ransom note to make it look like someone, because they had money, right? But in the ransom note, it says they wanted $118,000 specific, right? For your daughter.
Why 118,000?
And then it came out that apparently that was John's bonus that year, because he was well off. He was working for a graphic company.
Yeah.
Exact amount of your bonus is the ransom. Isn't that fucking weird? Well, like when you actually think about it.
That's crazy, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't understand.
Yeah. So yeah, she realized that, according to statements that Patsy gave to authorities on the 26th of December 1996, she realized that her daughter was missing after she found a 2.5-page handwritten ransom note on the kitchen staircase at the Ramsey family Boulder residence.
Ransom what? What ransom?
$118,000 to get your
But
daughter
who's
back.
holding a ransom?
That's what they said. You can Google it, and they've got that.
But who's the ransom?
Said where like it was saying where like I'll read it.
They already killed the kid.
Yeah, but at the time they're saying they didn't know that. They're saying give us ransom. They didn't have the body yet.
Oh, they didn't know it was in the basement.
No. John pointed out to police first on the scene that the amount was nearly identical to his Christmas bonus. So he pointed that out, even the dad. So they went and did investigations into people at his work. Was it them? You know, people on the payroll knew he was getting money. But I don't know. Anyway. Suggested that someone who would have access to their information would be involved in the crime. Investigators looked at several theories behind the dollar amount demanded, considering employees at Access Graphics who may have known the amount of John's prior bonus, etc. They also considered the possibility that the ransom demand was a reference to Psalm 118, which it's a religious cult apparently.
Psalm is from the Bible.
Psalm 118, yeah.
Yeah, it's a Bible
But
verse.
there was a cult that like did that. So
yeah.
The ransom note appears to echo film dialogue. Films such as The Ruthless People, Ransom, Escape from New York, Speed, and Dirty Harry. The ransom note was unusually long, the Federal Bureau of Investigation have told police. Ransom notes are not usually 2.5 pages. They're usually short.
Yeah. Oh, this was long.
And the FBI have said it's unusually long, right?
I mean, what Joy of the Unknown said, do they compare the handwriting?
They did this, so they're talking about it here. The police believe the note was staged. So they believe, the FBI believe Patsy wrote the note, right? The police believe the note was staged because it did not have any fingerprints on it except for Patsy's, and the authorities.
Isn't that enough to convict?
Well, keep going. Who had handed it because it included unusual use of exclamation marks and initialisms. The note and practice draft were written with a pen and notepad from their home. So it was written from a pen and a notepad.
No way.
From their house. Right?
this has to, I mean, how
I
can they
know.
not convict them from this?
According to the Colorado Bureau of Investigations report, there are indications that the author of the ransom note is Patricia Ramsey. So they say, in their mind, they believe, they can't 100% prove it, but there's a chance it's her handwriting. She wrote it, right?
Jeez.
But they can't prove it.
Okay.
Right? However, the evidence fell short of definitive conclusion. Michael Baden, a board-certified forensic pathologist who had consulted both sides of the case, said he had never seen a note like this in 60 years' experience and did not think it was written by an outside stranger. He's saying in 60 years of working in hostage things, never seen a note that big, the way it was, to detail, which is like, but they couldn't prove it was Patricia or John, whatever, Patsy, sorry. A federal court ruled it highly unlikely that Patsy wrote the note after. Highly unlikely. So it never got ruled that she didn't do it, but the court ruled it was unlikely.
Right.
So that's still not definitive, is it?
No.
Right?
No.
Citing 6 certified handwriting experts, the court bemoaned the existence of the self-proclaimed experts. So they went and got people in that were self-proclaimed handwriting experts.
Right.
They weren't just...
No, they're all good ones.
No, but self-proclaimed. That's like me saying I'm the best at this.
I'm the best, yeah.
But
And they're still
what are
gonna-
my actual qualifications?
Nothing. So how'd they do it?
Fuck knows, man. America, I don't know. Without credentials, trying to enter the case by accusing Patsy without scientific basis. And there's the letter. You can see the letter. Here, see how big it is?
Yeah.
Like, you can read it. So, the 911 call and initial search for the child. The only people known to have been in the house on the night of John Bennett's death were her immediate family, Patsy, John, and their son. The ransom note contains specific instructions contacting police and friends, but Patsy telephoned the police at 5:52 a.m. She also called family and friends. 2 police officers responded to the 911 call and arrived at the Ramsey home within 3 minutes. They conducted a cursory search of the house, but did not find signs of forced entry, so they didn't look in the basement. Because they were looking for forced entry. They weren't looking for...
But doesn't the basement like lead out?
Nah, not always. So they didn't look in there.
They should have looked there.
Fucking oath they should. It's like when you watch the Jeffrey Dahmer thing,
You
and
just look everywhere.
the cops go to Jeffrey Dahmer's house after he'd killed his 3rd or 4th victim and don't go in his room.
Nah.
And then he ends up killing another 20 people because you didn't fucking search his room. Stupidity. They're fucking stupid. Like,
As if you wouldn't search every single inch of that house,
I
man.
know. Officer Rick French went to the basement door and came to the door that was secured by an additional wooden latch at the top of the door frame, right? He paused for a moment but walked away without opening it because they were looking for exit routes, not for... And because it had a wooden latch, it had the indication that someone would have to lock it behind. So they didn't look in there.
Oh, right.
But still, why didn't they look in there?
Just look in there.
I know. It's fucking stupid. With John Bennett still missing, John made arrangements to pay the ransom. So the dad made arrangements to pay the $118,000, right?
Yeah.
A forensic team was dispatched to the house. The team initially believed that the child had been kidnapped. Excuse me. John Bennett's bedroom was the only room in the house that was cordoned off to prevent contamination of the evidence. No precautions were taken to prevent contamination of evidence in the rest of the house. Meanwhile, friends, victims, advocates, and the Ramsey family minister arrived at the home to show support. Visitors picked up and cleaned surfaces in the kitchen, possibly destroying evidence because they helped them clean the kitchen and shit.
Yeah.
It could have been blood and who the fuck knows, skin. You know what I mean? Boulder detective Linda Arndt arrived at about 8 a.m. in anticipation of receiving further instruction by the kidnapper, but there was never an attempt by anyone to claim any money.
Yeah, see, that's,
Yeah,
man, it's
exactly.
definitely them. But you can't convict them.
And one of
There's
them's
not enough
dead. One of them's dead now anyway. And at 1 p.m., Detective Arndt asked John Ramsey and Fleet White, a family friend, to search the house to see if anything seemed, like go search the house again, see if anything seemed amiss, right? They started in the basement. John opened the latch door with Officer French and had overlooked and found his daughter's body in one of the rooms. John Bennett's mouth was covered with duct tape, a nylon cord found around her wrists and neck, and her torso covered by a white blanket. John picked up the child's body and took it upstairs. When John Bennett was moved, the crime scene was further contaminated because he picked up the body. So it's contaminated the scene even more.
Oh my god!
You know what I mean? And critical forensic evidence was disturbed for the returning forensic team because now his DNA's on it.
Oh, see, and was that a ploy?
Maybe.
Jeez.
Each of the Ramseys provided handwriting, blood, and hair samples to police. John and Patsy participated in preliminary interviews for more than 2 hours, and Burke was also interviewed. He was only 9 years old. And then, the autopsy, there was no evidence of conventional rape, although sexual assault could not be ruled out. Although no semen was found, there was evidence that there had been vaginal injury to a 6-year-old. So, did the dad rape her? I don't know, and then kill her, like some sicko parents, and then try cover it up. But it seems like the mum was involved too, big time. Yeah. Like she wrote the note. Do you know what I mean? It seems like they were both involved, and now,
what the heck, man? Like how are these people? How are these people not convicted?
I don't know.
There's not enough evidence to convict them.
Definitely poor investigating that made this case unsolved. So careless. They are guilty. Joy is saying
100%. Look, I'm 100%. They're guilty, man.
See, I believe
everyone. It just points to them. There's they've got there's nothing else to.
Yeah.
How can this case still be cold?
See, and then again, so when forensic evidence got better and better, forensic investigators extracted enough material from a mixed blood sample found on John Bennett's underwear in 2003 to establish DNA profile. The DNA belonged to an unknown male and excluded the DNA of each of the parents. The DNA was submitted to the FBI index. It's called the Combined DNA Index System, with over 1.6 million DNA profiles. The sample did not match any profile. In October 2016, a report said that new forensic analysis with more sensitive techniques revealed that the original DNA contained genetic markers from 2 individuals, they don't know who, other than John Bennett. It could be the fucking parents. It could be 2 individuals.
I don't know, man. The way it seems to me is, I don't know, man. Very odd.
It's fucked, isn't it? How's everyone going in the chat land tonight? Hey, J-Mar, how are you, mate?
So, let's have the verdict, right? Is there any more on that?
Well, I agree with that comment by Joy. It seems unlikely that some random...
Very unlikely.
...came into the house, right?
And
let's just say it's Chris's house. It seems very unlikely that random KP breaks into Chris's house with no signs of forced entry, right? And gets the girl, takes her to the basement, obviously rapes her, kills her, whatever.
Yeah.
And then writes a ransom note with your notepad and your pen, and no one saw it happen.
And then doesn't want to claim the prize.
And then doesn't come forward for the ransom when it's ready to be paid.
No.
And there's no signs of unforced entry, but he killed the girl. There's no signs of...
They've definitely done it, man.
I believe they're guilty.
If I was their friends, I'd be like, you killed your daughter, mate.
Yeah, I believe they're guilty, yeah.
But the reason is why?
Yeah.
Well, that's the question I want to know.
There are 2 primary theories about the death of John Bennett. One is the family member theory, which, like we're saying, that they killed her. According to Greg McRae, this is where I read that thing, a retired profiler with the FBI, statistically, it is a 12-to-1 probability that it's a family member or caregiver who is involved in the homicide of a child. So that's from the FBI.
Yeah, you said
when
that.
a child gets killed, statistically, it's a 12-to-1 probability that it's a family member or a caregiver.
Is that 12-to-1 in America?
FBI's Federal Bureau, we've got our own federal police, but I think they're all in
AFPs.
Yeah, but I think they're under cahoots together, the federal police.
It might be different.
Yeah, but
here it might be different because it's, but still
12-to-1.
Yeah.
Probability that it's a family member or a caregiver.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. So,
all right. So what's the other?
So the police saw no evidence of forced entry, but they did see evidence of staging on the scene, which is like staging the death scene.
Yeah.
So,
but what was the two? There was a second one.
The second one is the family theory, and then the intruder theory, which is someone got in and somehow
what you said, yeah.
somehow broke in, somehow didn't get seen. I mean, this is 1996. It's not like it's eons ago, it's still, you know,
you're right.
exactly like it's.
You were at Dawes Road.
Nah, the year before, 97, I came.
97. You came.
So like, someone breaking in doesn't.
No, it doesn't butter up, man.
Didn't the brother did it? Nah, he's the only family member that's not a suspect because he was 9 years old, and they've done DNA with him. He was the only one that actively gave DNA.
Let me ask this question: when they did the courtroom and whatever they had to do, the liberations to it, were they remorseful? What were they like?
Well, there was no court because
they couldn't convict anyone.
There was no one being convicted. No
they
one
couldn't
being
book
accused.
anyone.
That's right.
But was there remorsefulness? What like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, people can act a lot, but
Of course they can.
if you accidentally kill your daughter, wouldn't you do it as an accident? And to cover it up, they looked like it was a murder. How could you do that to your daughter, man?
But you know what, man? Me and Jess watched this one on Netflix where this guy, it's a very similar story, but he got done for it. He had a wife and kids, and he killed his wife and killed his kids because he was having an affair with someone to like clean the slate so he could start a new life.
That's crazy, man.
But it's on Netflix.
I heard there was a person.
Like, how the fuck do you do that?
How about that person, right? This happened in Melbourne on the Westgate Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
He got out, right, and threw his kid over because he wanted because his missus and him were having a breakup. So to get
he
back
didn't
at
want
her
her to have him as well.
Yeah, didn't want. Yeah, so he killed them.
Yeah,
off the Westgate Bridge, man. They were in peak hour traffic. He threw them off the edge. Poor kids, mate. Imagine how scared they would have been. Well, how can you do that to your own flesh and blood, man? Like,
yeah, that one. Yeah, so that one, I don't remember what it's called on Netflix, but yeah,
how can you do that to anyone?
So yeah, exactly. So
Not just your flesh and blood.
he's having an affair with some lady.
Yeah.
And he kills his wife and his kids, so he can pretty much proceed with this affair.
That's
and then
terrible.
and he's the one that called it in.
That's terrible,
but
man.
Doesn't that seem eerily similar to John Bennett?
It does, but this they've definitely done something, man.
That's what I think. But the thing is, she was meant to be like this good.
Were they
kid.
divorced after this?
Nah,
they were together.
She was like this good kid. What happened?
No, but were the parents divorced after this happened?
I don't think so.
So who died now? The lady?
The mum.
The mum's
Yeah, I
dead,
think
but
the dad's alive, I think.
How about the brother's obviously alive?
He's alive. He's the only one that's not a suspect because he's actively given his DNA. He's been helpful to them. He's like said, yeah, take my DNA, whatever.
Does he believe that his parents did it?
He believes they didn't do it.
Oh, okay.
But you know what families
man,
like.
it so points to their direction, man. Like if I was an investigator, I'd be like, dude, it's you. We just can't pin it on you.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only problem.
Yeah, I know. It's full on. See, with this one, it's the Beaumont children. There's no bodies.
We don't know where they
But
went.
this one,
no one knows nothing.
This one, the John Bennett Ramsey, they got her body.
Yeah, they got
the
everything.
poor kid's body.
I know.
This world is truly screwed up, unfortunately. Yeah, it is. Is that the one, KP, where he stuffed the bodies in the barrels? Not in the barrels, he took them to some water tanks, like out.
Who did? Oh, the other
that one that I'm talking about. Yeah, in like rural.
The barrels was here in Snowtown.
Yeah, but I know what she's saying. He took them to like some huge water tanks, and he put them in these water tanks, like out in a farm somewhere. Yeah, me and Jess were watching it, and like, yeah, it's fucked up.
Jeez.
But
yeah, that's a crazy one.
the John Bennett one has been obviously it's
so still ongoing now, but
not as long as the Beaumont.
No,
but the fact that why I think it's the craziest one is because they got the body, for fuck's sake.
And everything's
house.
pointing to the parents.
Yeah, like the body's in the house.
They wrote the note.
Yeah.
The note on the pad.
I know, man.
With like who's
It would be better to know that your child is dead and no longer suffering than for them to see. I agree.
the Beaumont children would have been crazy.
Both would be so.
Both is bad.
Both would be so hard, but that's what the thing is. When people actually they find the bodies, you get closure. That's of any death. You have a closure. If they never find a body, it's even with plane crashes. When they never get to see the body, people don't get closure.
No.
You know, it's
100%.
It's
No, I mean, yeah, like the Beaumont children parents, they will never know what happened.
Right.
You know,
that's right.
maybe after death, you know.
That's like that movie,
but-
you know, that Nicolas Cage movie, 8mm, when about the snuff film.
Mm.
And the lady at the end, she's like, she just wants to know what happened to her daughter because they never found the body.
That's right.
You know, and he like,
It's not fair on like if people do that, you know, like it's not fair on anyone.
yeah. See
How,
this?
how dare they take their kid away from someone?
I know. See this? Forensic pathologist Michael Baden said trace amounts of DNA can get on places and clothing from all different non-suspicious means.
Yeah.
So they found DNA, but it doesn't mean anything. And then he said there is no forensic evidence to show that this is a stranger murder. He's saying even with the DNA, it's pointing to them. Pretty much that's what he's saying.
But there's just not enough evidence.
Just not enough. It was like O.J. Simpson. They had murder weapons, everything, and didn't get like it's just.
If I was a jury, if you were sitting, well, if you can't get him into court, but if you were a jury, right, they're in court, right? I'm sure they had to go to court, man.
So, but the thing is, would they? Surely they had to take.
Was there a court case?
I don't know, but surely they had to take a polygraph, which is a lie detector test. Did they? Is it inconclusive? Is it?
I don't know.
Or at the time, were they? Because they weren't suspects. I don't know. Were they not? Yeah, I don't know. See, 0.01% of it being a true. I agree.
But did they do a polygraph?
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't say in reading it, but I'm sure if you, obviously we can't delve into it as much because we're on a podcast. But if you delve into it, it's you go like I said, you go down rabbit hole.
You go down rabbit hole.
Yeah, like it's like
I mean, you could wrap your head around these ones, but
they're like, well, let me
yeah,
see,
look it up, guys.
I'll see. Theories, suspects, with family member. We said investigation. It's so she died in 2006, I think.
Yeah.
Yep, the mum.
Well,
It's
that's
crazy, isn't it?
that's a damning one. That's definitely points to the parents.
Oh
though.
yeah.
Like if I was a jury, I'd be definitely looking at the parents. Do you know what I mean?
100%, man.
Unless there's collusion with police enforcement, that's the only thing I can think of maybe that we don't know about. Maybe I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not saying there is.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
What if there's like
But it makes you think like what?
He was smart, man, to move the body, wasn't he? Because then it stuffs up the DNA. Because it's like, oh well, he would have got DNA when he touched her.
See, and then the thing is, but a lot of the things point to that they were both guilty. That's what I think, right? And was he doing that to save his wife? Like, why? Did you just kill your daughter together? I don't understand. It makes it fucking mind boggles me. Like, what? Who conspires as a couple to kill your child?
We don't know.
No, I'm not saying they did, but
if that's the case, then yeah, that's right.
fuck, it's more chance that it was them than someone else. I think.
I don't think why we got one viewer, but yeah.
It can't be. I can see 3 people talking.
There's not one viewer, guys. There's something wrong with the YouTube. There's definitely
Well, there's 15
more than one.
likes, so there has to be more.
No, there's more.
It says there's 0 people now, but
If you're in the chat, put a star in the chat if you're in there, just to make sure that we know there's people watching.
That's a good theory. What Joy said. Could you imagine if both cases, they're from 2 countries miles apart, right? Beaumont children, John Bennett Ramsey. Can you imagine if both cases were exactly the same possibility, secret government plot? And they could be. Because they're different, but they're similar.
Yeah.
Like, why has no one been convicted of these things when you actually think about it?
Yeah, 100%.
Alex is there?
Yeah, put a star in the chat, guys, like Alex did. Welcome,
Oh, wait.
Alex.
Can I put a star? I'm here, man. Trust me, I'm here. Hey. Hey, look at my star. It's got little stars around it. I have no idea. No, I wrote star. Yeah, I'm with Joy. There should be no reason for there not to be a conviction.
No. I agree, man.
Yeah, it's a bad one, man.
I agree. I'm looking for a star.
Oh, look at that one. Look at that one. That's
Stars
fucking,
everywhere.
That's fucking shooting stars and shit.
I can't find a star, but anyway.
Doesn't matter, man. There's only 0 people in the chat.
There's 0 people. Oh, well.
I don't know what's wrong with YouTube, man.
I don't know what's happening. Anyway, guys, yeah, I've got another one here, man.
So what?
Before we go, next one.
Before we continue,
Okay.
they're the two. They're bad, aren't they? Beaumont
Oh,
and
yeah.
John Bennett.
Yeah, the next one's bad too.
Yeah, they're all
The
bad.
next
But
one's bad.
isn't it all the unsolved ones? They're all very bad.
This one's really bad, man.
Hey,
Hey, GT.
the Macedonian mob. Oh, this is for GT. You ready? I got this for GT.
Here we go.
Watch this. Watch this. Just so we can see it again.
Join me. Perhaps you may be able to help solve a mystery.
Imagine that's GT, and today on Unsolved Mysteries.
Every time I think of GT, that's what I picture that guy.
Yeah, GT puts that up. He's like today on Unsolved Mysteries. The case that West Coast Eagles beat Melbourne Football Club is now an unsolved mystery.
All right.
All right.
Any other?
All right, so guys, if you've just come in, the two unsolved mysteries we've talked about are the Beaumont children. Is the longest ongoing unsolved case in Australian history, and the John Bennett Ramsey case in America. So that's the two we've spoken about, and
Yep.
they're both fucking bad, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're both bad. You know what? I remember we were saying this before you go on. When you talk about unsolved things like this, I know why there's sleuths that go down rabbit holes, because you can just go down rabbit holes, man.
You can, man. You can.
And you
A lot of
feel like
sleuth.
an investigator. Don't you? Because you're like, really,
and you see
like-
those movies that do it too.
Yeah, they do, man. They do.
Like
Well,
the Zodiac Killer.
yeah, that's an unsolved,
He
but that's an unsolved mystery. Yeah.
It is. It is.
Have you seen the one with all the internet sleuths? It's on Netflix and it's called "Don't Fuck with Cats." So it started off. This guy posted a video of him like killing a cat on YouTube or something, right?
Yeah.
And all these internet sleuths started investigating it, and then this guy ended up being a killer, and he got caught. But it was going on for years.
There you
It's
go,
on
man.
Netflix. It's an 8-series thing on Netflix.
The
It's,
next one- yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Unsolved Mystery of Why Hawthorne Lost on Sunday.
That is an unsolved mystery.
All right.
All right. So the next one is a big one too. It happened in Adelaide again.
There's another Adelaide one.
This one's so it definitely is a missing person,
Mm-hmm.
missing for 50 years, 8 months, 11 days.
So not much. That's not much less than the Beaumont.
Well, 1973.
It's only 10 years. Or
No, less
7
than
years.
that.
7
Yeah,
years.
7 years, yeah.
After the Beaumont children.
So
There was some bad shit happening back in the 60s and 70s.
all right, Joanne Ratcliffe, born 1962, and Christy Jane Gordon, born 1968, were two Australian girls who went missing.
Is this the Adelaide Oval
Yeah.
one? Yeah.
So listen, who went missing while attending an Australian rules football match at the Adelaide Oval on the 25th of August 1973. Now this is before Footy Park
Yeah,
was
back then they used to
made,
play Adelaide Oval.
and they used to
back
play
then.
Adelaide Oval
Yeah,
back then as well. Okay, their disappearance and presumed abduction and murder became one of South Australia's most infamous crimes. The presumed murders are thought by South Australian police and media to be related to the disappearance of the Beaumont children in 1966. The case is sometimes referred to as the Adelaide Oval abductions.
Well, it was not funny before he left because he came here in 69. My dad knew about this one.
Yes,
He
did.
said it to you guys.
He just said it now.
He goes, "You're going to talk about the Adelaide Oval one."
Yeah. All right, disappearance. So Joanne Ratcliffe went to a football game between Norwood and North Adelaide. So they're an SANFL team, if you guys
Two
don't
SANFL
know.
teams.
With her parents Les and Kathleen Ratcliffe, her older brother and family friend named Frank as well. Christy Gordon was at the game in the care of her maternal grandmother, while her parents Greg and Christine Gordon were visiting with their younger daughter in Renmark. The two families were seated next to each other in the Sir Edwin Smith stand. Now that stand, it's been redeveloped, but that's
Redone
still
now.
there.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the name. Ratcliffe parents and Gordon's grandmother, who were friends, allowed the two girls to go to the toilet together on 2 occasions that day. All right.
So see, this is before you keep going. Now, let's say you're at the footy with Texas and Andrea.
Yeah.
Are you letting them go to the toilet
No
by themselves?
No freaking way.
So that's the difference, isn't it? Like,
People are more scared now.
I'm saying it's the difference in times. is
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean.
We're just it's different times, different. Yeah, back then people were more not as scared as they are now. So, where was I? So yeah, they went to the toilet on 2 occasions. The Ratcliffe family rule was the children were not allowed to go to the toilet during the were not allowed to go to the toilet during the breaks in the game or during the last quarter. So obviously they went during the game when it was quiet.
Whatever.
Right?
Yeah.
Not many people around. Because obviously when you go during the quarter time breaks, everyone's there, right?
Yeah.
So after the girls left around 3:45, After the girls left around 3:45, the Ratcliffes began searching from around 4 o'clock. After an unsuccessful first attempt, Kathleen Ratcliffe was finally able to get an announcement made on the Oval's PA system shortly after the game ended, around 5 p.m. The girls were reported missing to the police at 5:12 p.m.
So an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Joy's saying is, I was reading, why did Adelaide Oval not announce it till an hour later?
Well, they didn't know that.
Yeah.
The police only found out at 5 o'clock.
Hey, Reeves, how are you, man?
Hey, Reeves. All right. She's never heard of this one.
This one's big. This one they reckon, don't they? You said it
It's
before
as
that.
big as-
But no, but they reckon it's in conjunction. Doesn't that chick reckon it is? That
She
Vaughn?
does, but I haven't heard what she talks about.
But she thinks
Just
it's
she
together.
does.
Yeah.
Ratcliffe and Gordon were sighted several times in the 90 minutes after leaving their families, once when trying to attract a stray cat, once with another child, and later apparently distressed and with an unknown man who was carrying Gordon.
Well,
Witnesses unaware of the kidnapping assumed the suspect was simply a parent with his children. The girls disappeared after the last reported sighting on a bridge near the Adelaide Zoo. So you know the bridge near the Adelaide Zoo that goes over the Torrens?
yeah.
Another witness, however, later reported seeing them between North Adelaide Rail Station and Port Road, Thebarton. Despite searches, a $5,000 reward, and a widespread media attention, the kidnapped...
See, we said the Beaumont was 255,000.
Well, this is like 7 years later.
Yeah, but still, that's a lot of money back then.
Yeah, a widespread media attention, the kidnapping quickly became a cold case.
Yeah.
In 1979, Ratcliffe's father told the Coroner's Court of Queensland that his daughter had been to the Oval dozens of times, I don't know why it's the Court of Queensland, that she would not have left voluntarily, and that she knew how to use a telephone to call an emergency number. He said she had not met Gordon before that day, and he did not know her parents. So they were sitting next to each other, by happenstance.
Oh, so Ratcliffe
and Gordon didn't know each other before that.
Oh, they were just sitting with each other at the footy.
Yeah.
So they weren't friends.
Nah.
Oh.
They met that day.
Fuck.
And they were just like, oh, we'll be friends,
Shit.
On the 40th anniversary of the case, Ratcliffe's sister Susie Wilkinson said the case has never been officially closed, but I would like further investigation into it. I want investigators into more recent developments. I certainly want a little bit more logic put behind why police have dismissed evidence which has been put before them and why things haven't been followed up. We seem to be left in the dark. It might be 40 years to them and just another case, but to us it's 40 years of no
children.
Yeah, of us not getting to watch Joe grow up. That's 40 years of not having a daughter, a sister, an auntie. In 2014, a $1 million was offered by the South Australian government. Suspects. Here are your suspects. Many of the suspects in the Beaumont children's disappearance are also suspects in this case, including child killers Bevan Spencer von Immen and Derek Percy. Witnesses' report led to police to believe that they were abducted by a middle-aged man. Further, the police sketch of the man last seen with the two girls resembles that of a man last seen with the Beaumont children. Arthur Stanley Brown, 1912 to 2002, is considered a suspect for both cases. As he bore a striking similarity to the identikit picture of the suspect of both cases. A witness reported seeing a man near the Oval carrying a girl while the other older girl in distress followed. The woman first saw him for a single minute when aged 14, and then identified him 25 years later, December 1998, when she saw him on television. That's weird. Like she saw him when she was 14. Then she, another possible suspect is Stanley Arthur Hart, born 1917 and died in June 1999. Properties previously owned by Hart, one in Prospect, one in Yatina and the Mid-North, were investigated in 2009 and again in 2015. He reportedly rarely missed a North Adelaide match, and a decade after the abduction, he was found to be a child abuser.
Oh.
And the 150th anniversary of the abduction in 2023, which was last year, Radcliffe's sister Susie Wilkinson claimed that in the heart of hearts, I believe it was Hart, was that guy. That's what she thinks. In 2013, Susie Wilkinson appealed to the authorities to look into the role that a family friend Frank may have played in the disappearance of the girls. Frank had accompanied the family to the Oval on the day of the girls' abduction, but may not have been formally questioned by police. Frank is alleged to have had an intimate knowledge about the girls' routine behaviors during football match outings. Kathleen Radcliffe said that Frank left his seat for approximately 30 minutes before the girls' disappearance, but later remained seated and did not participate when other formed searchers parties to look for them. So he didn't go out looking.
He's dodgy.
Gordon's grandmother also noticed Frank's behavior during the search of the girls, saying the other man staying in his seat. Wilkinson expressed her desire that authorities continue to actively work on her sister's case.
He's dodgy, that guy.
And this is the last paragraph.
It seems like he went out and like set it up.
I know. In 2023, convicted Queensland pedophile Errol George Radin, who died in 2022, was revealed to have been officially investigated as a suspect before his death. Raiden, not Raiden,
Not like
Thunder God.
Raiden wins.
Raiden repeatedly offended in South Australia until he was imprisoned for the indecent assault of an under 14-year-old girl in 1984. An alleged victim of Raiden's abuse claimed that Raiden bore striking similarity to the identikit sketch of the abductor and that he began sexually abusing her around the time of the abduction. After Randan left his Broadview home, that's in
Broadview.
Is that north? That's like north of the city.
Yeah.
It was alleged that both a scrapbook containing clippings of Ratcliffe and Gordon and clothes of young girls were found in the underground drainage system.
What a sicko.
And that's all I have on that one, guys. I did say before, Rachel Vaughan, she talks about the Beaumont kids. If you look her up, type in Rachel Vaughan testimony. She actually talks about this one too. So just type it in YouTube, guys, and it'll come up. Don't type it in now because you don't want to miss this show.
How is there, within 7 years of each other, in the same city,
another one,
2 cold cases that are still active today?
This is why it's weird.
Of children missing.
This is why it's weird, man.
This kind of reminds me of the Chris Creamer and Leanne Froon case, Reeves says.
Ooh.
Well, Reeves, I don't know. We just talked about the John Bennett Ramsey case. I don't know if you know about that one. And the Beaumont children one, is next level. We talked about that.
But that's I mean, I go to Adelaide Oval frequently. And I know it's different now, obviously, because it's been redeveloped. But, it was just there, man. How can someone...
Joy says, is she the perpetrator? That's why she knows so much about all this stuff.
Susie?
No, Vaughn.
I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
Imagine
Joy,
she knows all this shit and she's like...
Nah, she's not old enough.
I'm not saying. I'm just imagine she like...
Maybe. I don't know. But
yeah,
look her up.
Dad. Maybe it was her dad. She said it. She says that, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. I'm not sure what she said about the girls that went missing Adelaide Oval, but yeah, it's scary to think that
it seems like there's like a pedophile ring, doesn't it?
It does, really does.
Because you put them in the same city,
that's what it feels
7
like.
years apart. It's like there's a pedophile ring.
That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like, and that's what she talks about. So,
like we said, we don't, mate. We probably never.
Well,
know.
there is pedophile rings.
There is.
There is. So we know there is, and there has been in Adelaide. How many kids that we don't know?
That guy sounds dodgy. That got up,
doesn't he?
Half an hour before, seems like he went and planned something, then came back and sat down and then didn't talk to anyone after.
Yeah.
That's dodgy as fuck. And then he never got questioned.
So someone saw them. The guy carrying the girl, the smaller one, and the other girl following in distress. That makes me sick.
Bro. Sick to my core.
Makes me sick.
Imagine if someone successfully invented time machines and could go back to these moments. Oh,
If I would do that, man, you mean people I'll save?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd save so many people.
There'd be like so many more million population because I'd be saving everyone.
You would change history.
Change history, man.
But I don't think you would change history. I reckon you would just go to a different timeline. That's what I think. Because there's the string theory.
Yeah.
You won't be in the same timeline.
Nah, you'd be in like an alternate.
Correct. Because you're changing history. It'll be alternate. But this timeline will still be here, the one that from before. That's what I think, how it works. But going forward's different. I reckon going forward, you can't.
Well, there's nothing there.
There's nothing there, yeah. Well,
we don't know.
We don't know.
Fuck.
But I would go save these people, man.
Yeah, me too. It definitely points to a pedophile ring.
100%. That's what it. But if you just listen to Rachel Vaughn, it's very interesting. Very interesting. So, as I said,
that's why these ones, right? These ones, in my mind, I believe that some sick pedophiles have kidnapped the Beaumont children and these kids, right? Yeah,
100%.
but so the other one we talked about, why did John Bennett Ramsey get killed?
It's different.
That one.
I don't think they're pedophiles.
No. But that's what I'm saying. But they've got the body. Why did she get killed? That's why that one bemuses me so much.
Think
this one, I actually believe it's some sick pedophiles.
Yes.
Same with but the John Bennett Ramsey one. Why the fuck did they kill their own daughter?
Yeah, I know. The why.
Why just mind boggles me, man. As much as it's sick, I think I know why they did it.
Yeah.
Because they were fucking pedophiles and they're
100%.
sickos. But the other one, why did that girl get killed?
As you said, it could have been an accident, and then they tried to cover it, and so they, did all this stuff. They looked like it was a murder.
Yeah.
So they probably would have gave her vaginal stress.
Yeah.
Just not. It wasn't sex. It was just they did it when she was dead.
Yeah.
Right.
Necrophiliac.
And then because they wanted to make out that she was raped and blah blah blah. Right.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of. Maybe happened.
Yeah.
But how could you kill your daughter? You would have to bloody hit her pretty hard to kill her.
Fuck, bro.
Huh?
That's fucked up. Do you reckon the two Adelaide cases are committed by the same person? I don't think person. I think
maybe the same people.
I think persons. Yeah.
Yeah, people, maybe the same ring.
And Johnny says hello. Hey, Johnny.
Well, how many homeless kids or kids that you don't know about go missing?
Know about.
Well, they reckon if statistically, I know kids get found, but 20,000 kids go missing in Australia per year, and that's now. Now, I'm not saying they get abducted, all of them. Some people, they go missing and they get found, but then some don't come. There's a lot of missing people, man.
That stat sickens me, and that one that we read about the 12-1 thing sickens me. I know. So, for anyone that is coming in late, the FBI have said statistically, when a kid gets killed, it's 12-1. Statistically, it's 12-1 ratio that it's a family member or a caregiver.
Yeah.
So that's showing that these people are sickos.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
If it's that, man, I want it to say it's 1,000,000-1, not 12-1. That's
I know.
fucking ridiculous,
man. It is, man. But yeah, it does seem coincidental, man.
That happened. That's what me and Chris are saying. That's why it points to a pedophile ring.
Probably does happen other places too, Joy, but you just don't hear about it as much. There's probably a lot of stuff that goes under the rug that we do not know about. Oh. I mean, why the heck was there an entrance to a tunnel into a boy's toilet?
I know.
Like, why?
I know.
You think about it. Like, why is that there?
It's sickening. Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Like, why is that there, man?
It's fucking joke.
And then you think about it. It's like, then you read about this. You hear what that Rachel Vaughn has to say. And it's
because when we're young kids, we'd have no idea.
Well, she said they used to traffic kids through the tunnels.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is there a bloody tunnel opening in the boys' toilets of a high school?
Yeah, no, it's
and I'm telling you, we saw it, guys.
I've seen it with my eyes.
We saw it. Yeah. I saw it too. You went down there, man.
I tried to, but back then we didn't have phones.
No.
We went, me and another friend, won't say his name, we went like a couple steps and it was just pitch black. But if it was now and we had mobiles, oh, mate.
Oh, forget about it.
Well,
it's there now.
Yeah, no,
It's
but
still-
I
think
heard
it's
been
blocked.
blocked more.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a door when we were there with a
was a door.
padlock and we broke it.
Yeah, I know.
Remember the door?
Yeah, I remember the door.
But
It was a
apparently-
white door.
Yeah.
It was
but
white.
apparently it's
and they
blocked.
painted over it.
Yeah. But
Remember?
apparently it's not. It's like a drip rock now.
Oh, is it?
They've blocked it. Yeah.
But
Because
but the tunnel's still there.
yeah, because people probably kept doing what we were doing.
Yeah, 100%.
Going in there. And then phones, people, phone. And they're probably telling people to storage.
I'd love to go back there just to go have a look.
Yeah.
What?
I won't go. I think I want to go into that tunnel and see. Yeah, I know.
I don't know how John doesn't remember that. That was
Where
like
would
one
they
of the
get-
pinnacle things I remember at high school.
He's a tripper.
Like, how can you not remember that? That was like a huge thing.
It was
For me, it was.
right behind the cubicle.
Like, it was one of the one thing I remember the most.
When you walked
It's
past
the- it's
the
the
cubicle.
last
right?
cubicle- it's
Yeah,
the- past the last cubicle on the left.
On the
That's
left.
where it was.
It's right there. That,
I
that
remember
wooden
it.
door.
It was white.
White.
I remember it was white
wooden
painted.
door. Painted
They
white.
painted
wooden door.
white.
100%.
And he went down to a tunnel, guys, in our high school.
Dude, we.
And this stuff that Rachel Vaughan, this stuff happened around these areas, man. Around the areas that we're from. That's the scary part, man.
Could someone pull off a disappearance today at Adelaide Oval with all the technology and never be caught? In your opinion, I don't think so.
It's hard because there's a lot of cameras everywhere
There's
now.
facial recognition cameras and. I mean, they could do it, but there'd be
See,
suspects.
that's the only good thing about like the Chinese. They've got the
Technology.
facial recognition.
everywhere.
So in that way, how are you going to go missing?
Yeah, I think they've got it in America.
Okay, that's the good part about it.
Yeah.
Now, the bad part is that they
They-
follow you everywhere, and
Exactly.
but so
Yeah.
there's pros and cons in that.
I don't know how he doesn't remember that.
How do you not remember that, man?
He was with us when we opened it.
I remember seeing it. It was like a dark. It was all dark, like it was
Yes,
all black.
because it went. There was like a stair.
I
and
think
it
someone went in there and they
We-
could hear they heard the cars above.
Yeah, that's what we didn't go that far, but you could hear shit. It was a fucking tunnel.
So
bro.
apparently they go all the way.
Oh,
They
really?
all the way like down. They go
Well,
far.
anyone that's
apparently.
been to Adelaide, there's a pub here called the Old Lion, and underneath, it's a big thing. Everyone goes in there. It's all posh. The Old Lion tunnels, and they've admitted these old tunnels were where they were bringing the alcohol in back in the day. What else were they bringing through these tunnels?
Apparently they go all
What are
under
these
government house.
Exactly. What
all
are
through
these
the
tunnels?
city?
It's in the city. So what are they connected to?
They're all connected to the ones here.
Exactly.
There might be one right under here, bro.
Fucking oaths it would be. Rural areas are the danger areas.
So
Yeah,
so the tunnels they're building on South Road, they're going to go under those tunnels.
yeah, they will. Or they'll probably break them. Probably dig into them.
Probably. Unless they still use them. That's the only
Yeah.
thing I can think. Well, Rachel Vaughan says that her dad used to traffic children and that she used to use a tunnel and there was an opening in her backyard. They had an opening to one of the tunnels in the backyard.
Fuck.
That's what she used to say in Edwardstown. And her house was in Edwardstown. Mate,
Mm.
we grew up a few k's from Edwardstown.
Mm-hmm. There's a,
Do you know what I
there's a-
mean?
there's a school there.
I know there's a school there.
Edwardstown Primary.
It'll be interesting to go through documents like old to see other people missing that you didn't hear about.
Oh, yeah. Did anyone listen to 5AA Radio last week? Lee Forrest, the host, had two guests in the radio. Stuart Mullins, who wrote Unmasking of Beaumont Killer, and Bill Hayes, ex-Sapole detective.
No, I didn't see it,
didn't see
man.
that,
That'll
no.
be interesting. They said he's going to tell us what they said now.
There's something similar in Manchester that I've seen videos of before the city grew, all the old situations. And yeah, it's here, Reeves. It's,
It's the same here, man.
mate. And I'm telling you, we broke that door open.
We did.
Me and one of the other boys. John doesn't remember. He was with us. I'm telling you, he was with us.
Of course he was, man.
He's a tripper. And we went at the time. Listen, we might not look it, but we're a bit older. We didn't have phones back then.
No, we had the Nokia 5110, maybe.
No torches.
No torches.
And no one was bringing a
torches.
torch to school. And
No,
shit.
no.
And then when we went back the next day, it was padlocked again.
Yeah. Why was it there? And you know, our school, there was two pedophiles that went to our school.
Two teachers have been convicted there.
Yeah, when we were there.
One was a bit before us, and one was
During
while we-
us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after. Yeah,
Yeah. So
one was before my
and
dad.
they actually killed the school, man.
He actually put a claim in, and my dad
Yeah, I
like,
remember.
did his claim and shit. He was a fuckwit.
I'm just saying those two pedophiles
Yeah.
killed the school because
Oh,
it was a
yeah.
up and coming school, man. It had all the right things there.
Mate, you know how many other schools would have ones that aren't convicted?
Oh, of course. But I'm just saying, like,
They
it gave
got caught.
it gave
Gave
the
it the bad
school
name,
a
100%.
bad name, and then people didn't want to send their kids there.
100%.
They had the best facilities there, man.
Yeah.
Their woodwork, one of the best in Adelaide.
Yeah.
Their gym, the gym that they built now,
Yes.
one of the best in Adelaide.
Yeah, no.
But no one goes there because it's got a bad rep.
Those
It's still to this day, man.
Yeah.
And that's because of those two people.
100%.
But yeah, I'm telling you right now, that door that went into that, I had this girl, right, I used to go to school with, and I stayed friends with her on Facebook, and I said, we should talk about, like, doors red, remember the tunnel? She's like, what tunnel? Well, she wouldn't have known because she was a girl.
Girls' toilets, yeah.
But I don't know if there was one in the girls' toilets. I got no idea.
If
We don't know.
If she's saying she doesn't know.
No, she doesn't know about it. She's like, what tunnel? And
That
she didn't believe me.
So that means there wasn't one in the girls' toilets.
And then I was like, did I dream that? And then when
she was girl.
No. But she goes to me, no, there wasn't a tunnel. Like, she goes to me, there couldn't have been a tunnel.
Yeah.
Right? That's what she said to me. And then I started second guessing myself. I'm like, did I dream that? Is it a dream?
And then
I asked Con Christostomou.
He knew.
He told me.
Yeah.
And I asked you. You reconfirmed it. I'm like, yeah, 100%. Because I remember that,
Con
man.
was with me when we broke it.
I know, but like, it was just. I just remember it, man. I reckon I was there too because I remember it open. The door was open, and I saw black.
Yeah, it's
black.
I was like, so you couldn't go down because we didn't have phones.
No.
And now they've had to block it because kids have phones.
Yeah.
Torches.
So you have to think, like, and then when you start researching these disappearances and stuff, why the hell was there an entry to a tunnel into the boys' toilets of all places?
You know what's so scary about it when I think about it? Back then, right? We broke the lock, right? And I would have went into that tunnel with no fear. But now, I'd be shitting my pants to go in it.
Apparently, they go all the way down to the Royal Adelaide show as well.
That's what I'm saying.
There's entries to the Royal.
Yeah, because they're probably abducting kids from the fucking show, man.
Maybe.
Like,
I don't know.
I think about it now. I would have went in that tunnel like I did with absolutely no fear. But now, I'd be shitting my pants.
If I went with you, I'd be alright.
I would, but we'd
not by yourself.
But we'd still be.
We'd be shooting ourselves. Oh, fuck
not like when we were kids.
No.
We didn't give a fuck.
Nah, you didn't.
Didn't care.
Nah.
Well, tunnel, yeah, wild.
Yeah, what?
Wild. Now I'd be thinking we're gonna come up on the Premier's house or something and find out he's a pedophile and get fucking killed.
That's the thing, man, and that's the thing. Like, if you dig too far into these things, like, you know.
See, as I said, I wonder if anyone is brave enough to go in the tunnel now. I'd go in it if they let us go back there. I'd fucking go in it.
I'll tell you one thing that Rachel Vaughan says now. It's crazy, right? She reckons that these people used to take kids and, like, they used to drink their blood and they used to do sexual acts to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a butcher on Crossroads. She talks about this butcher. I can't remember exactly whereabouts, right? And there's a tunnel that at the back of it.
He was cutting kids, man.
And if you knew, she goes, if you knew the password and what to do, you could buy meat.
Yeah.
Human meat from there.
And that doesn't surprise me. I'm sorry.
On Crossroads there.
That doesn't surprise me.
Crossroads, we grew up on Crossroads.
I'll read what Paul said. But see, I've heard this one, but they dug up this area, what Paul's talking about.
Oh, yeah. Probably is that the one on
the old Castelloy?
Yeah.
They said 100% without a doubt Harry Phipps owned Castelloy was the murderer. 100% they are organising right now to re-dig Castelloy, same as previous dig, but dig down another 6 feet.
I reckon they won't find them.
So I don't think it's there.
I don't think it's there.
That's the one that Pilates dug up.
Yeah.
Con Pilates.
Is that the one at
Plimpton, I think.
Plimpton? Yeah.
And Castelloy is totally leveled right now. It's sold to property developer for householding. New expert evidence was publicly released on 5AA last week for the first time ever. Listen, how did they get that deep though back then to dig them up like another 6 feet under Castelloy? And it was there probably back then. Castelloy's been around for years.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's definitely a mystery, man.
Townsville is a snooze fest compared to Adelaide. All the tunnels, unknown entries. We go back so bad.
Adelaide is not like Adelaide's a small place and everyone pays it out, but I think there's more to meets the eye in Adelaide. Let me just tell you that.
I think
that's
Adelaide
what I think.
Is like one of those places in America that they talk about like a bit off the grid.
It is, man.
So people go there to be off the grid.
I can't mention names, but I know someone. Right, me and Amanda know someone that is in the entertainment business, and they were at a party, and there was all these big TikTokers, there was all these big YouTubers in Adelaide, and they're like, why are these people here? And they were just having a conversation with them about Adelaide, and they're like, hey,
It's quiet.
how come you here? They go, oh, no one knows, but we actually live in Adelaide.
Yeah.
They go, what do you mean you live in Adelaide? They go, well, we live here, but then we go back to Queensland
To do
we
our...
go, and then that's what we live our lives there, but then we come back here because
Yeah.
Adelaide's the best, like, and no one bothers you here like they do over there.
Oh, yeah.
And so they live here because it's got everything you need here to be just, it's quiet. Well,
Yeah.
it's getting busier now, obviously with migration and stuff, but it's not like Queensland and like or Sydney or so a
Melbourne.
lot of them live over here
Of
apparently,
course.
and they go to work in Sydney and Queensland or
It doesn't-
Melbourne.
Doesn't surprise me.
Do you know what I mean? And,
Doesn't
all,
surprise me.
and we're talking huge celebrity TikTokers and YouTubers over here, and they're having big parties and stuff.
Joy says Queensland's house. That doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise
You
me.
think about Adelaide, man. We're at the bottom of the bloody world,
You know.
in the middle of, like, above us is desert.
I know.
Nothing can get to you here.
Yeah, I know. It's...
You can't. There's no tsunami that could get you. Only an earthquake.
See?
What?
Radelaide for a reason.
I'm telling you, man. There's something about this place, and yeah, there's more than meets the eye. So, and the way that how people always pay out Adelaide, oh, it's small. It's dead. They want it that way, bro.
I know that.
They want it that way.
They didn't like being called Radelaide. I don't like Rad Adelaide. I like Radelaide.
Radelaide, yeah. With that, yeah.
Take out the other.
Take the A.
Take out the other A.
just put
Radelaide. Take out that D. Radelaide. is
Yeah,
better.
and with politicians as well. Yeah, I think this is like a central hub for something. But then again, I don't know. It's yeah. There's more than meets the eye in
Dude,
Adelaide.
there's a
I'll tell you.
huge Freemasons fucking thing in the city.
Oh, there is. Huge.
and it's
and-
massive.
And when I used to go running in Dingley Dell,
That's
and
better,
there's
Joey,
there's
Radelaide.
heaps of like, you see a lot of campsites there, and a
Dingley
lot of
Dell,
like
man.
a lot of devil worshippers in there.
There would be in Dingley Dell.
Yeah, there is, man.
We used to do preseason there, and it's freaky.
It's freaky in Dingley Dell, man. There's so right near. It's not far from where we are now, really.
Yeah, man.
And it's like you go in there and you feel we're in the city, and then you're in the jungle, man.
Dingley Dell is what you're saying, Joy. Any eerie places in Adelaide? Dingley Dell is
Eerie
great.
places,
It's
man.
eerie, man.
It is, but it's a killer place.
Yeah.
Like you go running or go through your bike through there.
Oh, we used to do
It's
preseason
wicked.
there because it's all hilly.
Like during the day, it's awesome, but it's like you want to be. I've been caught there at night time, and you can't see
No,
nothing,
it's
man.
not. It's like and
It's really scary, man.
we
But,
had we had a guy there, this guy Daniel Zajax, that we were like doing bike jumps there, and there was this massive cliff, and like it was with my brother Chris and George and that, and he like had to get helicopter lifted out of there because he like did this big jump like Homer Simpson and like hit the cliff,
yeah.
and he like got fucked up, like almost died. Had to be helicopter lifted out of Dingley Dell, and he like had to have facial reconstructive surgery, and I was only like 7 years old,
Jeez.
and I saw this all happen. Like with my brother's friends.
Yeah,
got fucked
Dingley
up.
Dell, man.
Dingley Dell's
I've had
fucked up.
some crazy stuff there.
Hey, was that at Dingley Dell?
Hey,
Remember Daniel Zajax? Nah, the other when Daniel like got fucked up, he like got fucked up there, and he had to have like facial reconstruction. Yeah, but that was at Dingley Dell. Yeah, he like
George, how are
I
you,
was
man?
that kid. George fucked me up at Dingley Dell because George and Chris. Let me tell you a story about George and Chris. Reborn's here. George and Chris, they were like the most gutless brothers. I'm telling you, like gutless in like if there was a jump, and I was like the little brother, they'd be like, nah, they'd be like so chicken to do it, and I would do anything.
You do anything?
And I went to do this jump at Dingley Dell that was like, it was no human being is
Not a jump.
dude. No person is doing. It wasn't even a jump. It wasn't even a jump. And I fucked myself, dude. I came back with rocks in my.
Yeah, I remember the jump set. They were like really.
It wasn't a jump.
It wasn't even a jump, bro.
Let me tell you what happened. There was a fucking hill.
It was like a hill,
It
bro.
was like this. It was about 100 meters.
Yeah, and I was like, "Well, go down it, man. Go down
They
it."
all had decent bikes.
They're all chicken shits, man.
This kid had a bike with just the back brake.
I had the shittest bike.
the back brake.
You know, like
Oh yeah, the pedal brake. Yeah.
Do skids and
and
shit.
he launched himself down there.
Yeah, but they were too
And
chicken.
he was doing fine.
Admit how chicken shit you were.
Hit the brake. And the thing just lost it. And he
Oh man.
Dude, I rolled down this hill and then the bike hit me.
Yeah.
water.
And I like came home and I had rocks in my body, everything.
Oh, that would have hurt.
Your mouth.
Everything. My dad lost it. My dad lost
Oh,
it, bro.
man. No way.
Old man lost it at them.
No way.
I got free food for a week. Let's go. Dude.
I've fallen like I started climbing a hill at Dingley Dell and I fell and I slid
Dude.
and I was scratched.
It's because they were so chicken and I wanted to show off to my older brothers. If one of them had just did it, had the guts, I wouldn't have done it.
You know what's funny? Like you say
Yeah.
say that to people now, like young kids.
Yeah.
You say young kids Dingley Dell, they got no idea
No
what
idea.
we're talking about. Like,
Paul
what?
says, KP and Chris, my lovely late Nana was very good close friend of Nancy
Oh,
Beaumont.
really?
She lived and had breakfast and had dinner daily with Nancy at their private retirement. Well, that's where Amanda worked.
Called Sula.
Sula?
Yeah.
Probably. Maybe.
That's where Amanda worked, Paul.
Oh, nah. Christopoulos is like,
It's
like
co-
Smith, man.
It's common. Christopher,
Yeah.
she'd be related to Johnny.
Maybe.
She'd be related to Johnny.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
She'd be related to Johnny. The one that played soccer with.
Yeah, probably.
That side.
But
That's the nursing home that Amanda worked at.
yeah.
Yeah, the one that he's talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about Unsolved Mysteries tonight.
Unsolved
So we've
Mysteries.
talked about the Beaumont kids.
We've talked about John Bennett Ramsey,
We've talked about
the Adelaide Oval one.
Adelaide Oval, missing kids at Adelaide Oval.
There's a pedophile ring, man. Let's ask him.
Do you remember?
Wait. Do you remember the tunnel, the door that went into the tunnel at the boys' toilets?
At Dawes
That's
Road.
cool.
At Dawes Road.
Around the back, the last cubicle. But George won't remember anything, man. He's like Johnny Smokes. I mean, his memory's gone.
I'm like, John, do you remember those? Like, no. I'm like,
GT says,
There was
have
a
you
tunnel,
guys
man,
heard
in
about
the
the
boys'
Lloyd?
toilet.
We broke into it, man.
No, you.
We broke into it, remember?
You talking about?
Yeah. Have you guys heard about the Lloyd Rainey case here? You know, we'll ask Chris. We'll ask Chris if he remembers.
he might.
He took hardcore illicit drugs, not smoked weed, so he can remember.
But no, I mean, just
Only joking.
well, yeah, because you think about pedophile rings. It's like,
That was
why
pedophile.
is there an opening to a tunnel in a boys' toilets?
No, but the
Like,
Beaumont
why?
children, right? Why is there a case 7 years apart of kids missing? They've never found the
again.
bodies.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not
But-
sure if
the ones in the 60s.
where they thought they buried him in North Clinton.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
Castlereagh.
one.
Apparently they want to redig it.
I want to redig it
6
now.
feet under.
Redug it.
I know, Compilades is the one that did it. He funded it. And they've never...
Redug Castlereagh because I used to do the work out there
Yeah.
with asbestos. And I was there one day doing an audit and they shut the whole site down.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we're coming back here to look for the next.
Yeah.
Well, that's not unsolved, I don't think. That's solved, isn't
Nah,
it?
Snowtown murders are solved.
It's solved.
Yeah, that's solved. That was bad too.
Yeah,
But
Castlereagh, the first time it got dug, as my dad was saying, Compilades funded it.
Let me tell you,
And they've dug it so many times, and now they want to go another 6 feet because that's why I don't think that it's...
remember,
no, they're not there.
remember Rihanna Barone? In 1994 or 93? Rihanna Barone. She went missing in Ranello or something like that.
See, another one in Adelaide.
Another one.
Have they found the body?
Here's the thing. There was
Pedophiles.
a girl that came to my school by the name of Danielle Gage because she was really pretty. Everyone wanted to hook up
At Dawes Road?
Dawes Road. Everyone wanted to hook up with her. She was best friends with Rihanna. She left the school over there
After
to
she...
come to our school, and yeah, the last time I saw her, she popped into the takeaway shop.
Yeah.
Oh, at Trot Park.
Yeah, she just popped in and like she was speaking with a British accent. She'd been to England for like a few months and came back. Anyway, but like she was best friends with it was Rihanna Barrow or Rihanna Barrow. I
Can't remember.
But yeah, she went missing. She's never been found since.
See, why is this all happening in Adelaide,
How
man?
old was she?
Pedophile ring.
Like 13 or
Pedophile ring.
It was 93, 94. That was when I was 14 or whatever. I was in year 8, year 9.
Weren't you like 30 then?
So these are the ones that you don't hear about as much. Like they're not as big as like the Beaumont children. Like as the media didn't.
I've heard this one, the Somerton man.
What's that?
They found like this corpse and he was like in a suit and it's never been identified in Somerton Park.
They found a corpse.
And I think he was like in a suit, like
What?
dressed well, and they've never been able to identify the body ever.
Somerton Park, just up here.
Yes.
Still on Crime Stoppers. Rihanna Barrow. Media release.
Yeah, but did they put this one on? Look at the screen. Did they do? Oh, yeah. Oh, look at this.
Look at this, man.
Look at the screen. Did they do this one?
Join me. Perhaps you may be able to help solve a mystery.
This is delayed,
Just watch,
man.
just watch.
This is delayed.
Why is it so delayed? Oh, it's going to come up now. Guys, we're having to show our famous thing.
Yeah, you got to put it louder though, so we can hear it.
Oh.
Unsolved.
No, he comes in, he goes, you know what he'll say about George? He'd be like, and today.
Teenager Rihanna Burrow went missing from her home address in Wakefield Avenue, Morphevale, Wednesday, 7th October 1992.
92. So there's another one, 92, guys.
Yeah, the 12-year-old lived at home with their mother and brother. The day Rihanna decided to visit nearby Southgate Shopping Centre, purchased Christmas card for her American pen pal. Because there was a bus strike that day, she walked. After her mother left for work, it appears Rihanna remained at home until mid-morning.
So there's more in Adelaide, is all I've got to say.
Adelaide's fuck.
I'm moving. Well, that's what they're saying about the Beaumont and the Adelaide Oval one. Yeah, but they don't have the body.
No.
See, this is the one, me and Chris, we've been talking all night, we've been saying, all these ones here, right? Although they're sick, right? We think that they're like pedophile rings because they can't find the bodies, right? Yeah, but the John Bennett Ramsey one we're talking about is the oldest one going, in America, right?
In America.
Yeah, but that one, they've got the body and they're not convicting anyone. That one is more sick because I'm telling you the parents killed her.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
The one where they were in that resort.
No, not in the resort. She was in her house. They found her in the basement, but then they said there was a ransom note, but they're like saying the mum wrote the ransom note. And in Boulder, Colorado.
I actually came, I spoke to Bud. I dropped off some Quebecia.
That's wild.
Like, you want more? Just let us know.
I reckon some secret government cover up on the Somerton man, Joy's saying.
There must be.
Somerton
Maybe he
one's
was
weird.
part of it.
Imagine he's the one that killed him.
I'm in a different job now, so I've got a lot more time on my hands.
What?
If you want.
When did you get a new job?
Well, of course we want you, man.
George is dodgy.
We've
Man.
wanted you for the last 3 years.
George is dodgy, man. Hey, Reborn. Do you want George to make an appearance?
George is wild. You're good at podcasts.
Do you want-
Sometimes I can't make it. So
Where's Reborn?
I would love to do this every Wednesday if we can, but like sometimes I can't make it. Maybe the times I can't make it, you can do it.
I want to know if Reborn wants to see George. What if Reborn says no?
Reborn doesn't say no.
Well, he is a Liverpool fan.
He is
a Liverpool.
Gio.
Wait, listen.
forget
Reborn
George. Gio.
Reborn is, and he's not even an in the closet Liverpool fan. He's an actual Liverpool.
Well,
fan.
that was cool, man. That was a new one that we wouldn't have found out. So that was good that you said that one. Brianna Burrow. Okay, guys, look her up.
I heard about it when it happened. I was 12 years old when it happened. But her best friend came to our school.
Georgietta. Wait, George is older than you, man.
I know.
The only person older than George is Chris. Chris is wild.
Chris Krillin.
Krillin is like 780.
I haven't seen Krillin in ages.
Just got to watch Dragon Ball Z.
Just watch Dragon Ball Z.
But wait till watch the episodes where his hair's growing back so you can laugh at him.
Oh, jeez. There's so many other ones. I don't think we're going to get through them tonight,
Dude,
man.
but this is what I said to you. When you do Unsolved Mysteries, right,
There's so
you
many.
realize why people go down rabbit holes.
Well, if you want, we can do part 2 next week, if you want.
We can. It's
Because
up
there's
to
so
the
many
people.
we can't.
Oh my God. That's
Hollow
not.
Earth is real,
No,
man.
Chris said to me, we can talk about Hollow Earth. And I go, yeah, but that's a conspiracy. It's not
It's
an
not it's not a
unsolved mystery.
theory.
It's not a mystery. It's not a mystery. It's a conspiracy.
Hollow Earth, man. I couldn't believe you don't even know what Hollow Earth is.
What year do you reckon we did Hollow Earth?
Oh, that was 2021.
Can I ask you, can I tell you something? Hollow Earth is way more conceivable than Flat Earth.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, 100%.
It's way more believable.
Yeah, I think so.
Read
Yeah,
my
Flat
mind,
Earth,
Chris.
Flat Earth is... No,
He said,
there's
read my
definitely-
mind, part 2. Amanda's laughing.
We can do part 2 next week. But we'll do one more before we go.
Okay.
No.
I'm going to go to Nick though.
Got a nickname, man. Good seeing
Where you
you.
going? The Club Gravati? GT.
Club Gravati.
GT. Oi, GT. My brother's going to
MC Maxilati.
Club Gravati, DJ Maxilati.
Good seeing you, man. Take care, Gio. Gio comes in.
Fucking been sick all last week.
So was I.
No, you'll be alright, man.
Won't go away.
You know, go to the chemist and get like
Alright.
the cough suppressant, and we'll get rid of it.
Is this
Just have a scotch, man.
Trust me, man.
Has anyone seen the Zodiac? Has
I
anyone
actually-
seen the movie?
I
Zodiac.
have, but I can't remember it.
Yeah, so that's real,
Unsolved.
but that's an unsolved mystery. So the Zodiac killer, and you know in the movie when they get him, that guy, the bald head dude, you think they've got him, and then somehow he gets away. But that's a true story. That's an unsolved mystery, like one of the big ones.
Obviously, he's dead now. the Zodiac
Yeah, well,
killer.
that's why. That's why it went so like cold
Are
case
we
for so
scared,
long.
like putting movies out that like that? Aren't we scared that there's other sickos that will copy that?
100%. How many serial killers do you think they're active serial killers in just America? There's probably
Oh,
fucking
There's a statistic.
yeah.
There is.
It's like one in something.
For some reason, America, I don't know what it is about. Well, we don't.
That's the one Zodiac code.
Look, you should be able
It's
to find
crazy.
it, like, compared to every other country in the world, America just stands alone.
Of course it does. Well,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
crazy.
freaky.
It's freaky,
listen,
man.
we'll tell George we read. So in a child killing, Federal Bureau of Investigation, statistically, when a child gets killed, it's 12-1 that it's a family member or a caregiver. That's how sick people are. That's sick, man.
Also, another statistic in Australia, there's more in America and all over the world, but in Australia, 20,000 kids go missing each year. Now, obviously, some will get found, but some don't get found. That's 20,000 a year. It's crazy,
They
man.
kill when the time is right. They surely wouldn't
Oh, it's
kill
way more
just
overseas,
that-
yeah.
With all the and when you look at those statistics as well, it's young females.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's because
Yeah,
we
of course.
talked about it, right? Like,
100%.
has any ever like me and Jess always into like serial killers and shit, right? So has everyone watched the Jeffrey Dahmer thing, right?
I haven't watched it.
So the cops, how many times they could have caught this fucking bloke, but they're so shit. Like they went into his house and walked out. Yeah, but the Ted Bundy one, right? I'll tell you the Ted Bundy one. No, so from Chicago, or wherever it was, wherever he was driving, they rang up and they go, "There's a guy called Ted driving a Volkswagen buggy." They pulled him over. They go in a white Volkswagen. They pulled over the guy. They go, "What's your name?" He goes, "Theodore," and he was driving a cream buggy, and they let him go. And then he went on to kill another 30 women. How fucking stupid is that? Please.
Cops back. I mean, when
No,
was this?
but not even back then. That's so dumb.
Same thing. We just watched that Boston documentary with the Boston bombing,
Yeah,
and the guy.
it is. It's so
The
stupid.
guy at the end was hiding in a boat in this one, like a massive gunfight in the middle of the street.
And he's probably just
And
there.
he was hiding in a boat, and they had 3,000 cops looking for him in a small neighborhood about
And couldn't find him.
8 blocks, and they didn't find him.
Stupid.
And they brought up the search, and some guy called up and said, "This guy hiding in my boat." Then you go to see the footage, and there's literally like all they had to do is walk out. They were going through everyone's house.
So stupid.
All they had to do was go and look, and there was blood on this tarp and everything.
See how dumb they are?
Maybe it's not dumb. Maybe it's.
No, you
maybe
know what
it's-
it is?
Maybe
No,
it's.
you know what it is? It's because
Maybe they're conspiracy.
No, you know
men,
what it
that
is?
They're in cahoots
no,
with.
you know what it is? It's go actually get people that to be in law enforcement that actually give a fuck about their job. That don't just want to sit
Maybe
there.
it's that, yeah.
Yeah, like you know
Could
what I
be
mean?
that.
Like, how do you pull over a guy and it's cream, not white, that's killed 20 women? Oh, his name's Theodore, not Ted. Let's let him go. Yeah, fuck it, who cares?
People were just
But it
like
wasn't, man.
blazed back
He
then.
got the
man.
death penalty in the 90s. Jeffrey Dahmer wasn't. They went in his house and they go, "What's that off smell?" And you know what he said? No, he goes, "Oh, I really like meat." He goes, "My parents sent me meat. My freezer
the
freezer
fridge.
broke." And he goes, "It's the off pork." And the cops fucking believe. And then they got suspended.
Why would they
No, but
believe
get this.
that?
The cops get suspended, and then they let them give them their jobs back. Are
Yeah,
you
it's
for real?
Crazy, man.
Give these guys their jobs back? They're partly to blame for these people being killed, man. Like Reborn says Ivan Milat. There you go.
Ivan Milat was.
George
yeah,
says, "See you later, Reeb."
He was the See, man. Ivan Milat was the Snowtown. No,
yeah,
not
no,
Snowtown.
not
Road,
Snowtown. The backpack,
Wolf Creek.
the backpack,
Wolf Creek.
the backpackers.
Yeah, the Wolf
Yeah,
Creek. It was a movie, but that movie's
Yeah.
not real.
But he was
But
the
he was
backpackers.
he was inspired. It's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
he killed the backpackers.
Yeah, but the
KP
movie
is
Wolf
spot
Creek.
on. Depends who you get. Someone who cares for not. Yeah.
Should we do one more before we go?
I don't have one ready. Have you got one ready?
Yeah, I got fucking.
Because I'm looking at the Zodiac here, and
All right.
Joy
Well,
said
maybe
he's seen
we'll
it.
stop the killing ones. We'll get
All right,
something different.
All right. Well, we said the plane is an unsolved mystery, isn't it? Is it MH370?
Well, we'll do that. We'll do that next week.
Yeah.
If we're gonna continue this next week,
Yeah, I reckon.
because there's so many to go through,
There's
bro.
so many, man.
All right.
And we can study them a bit more.
All right. The next one. So we'll do one more, and then we're gonna go, guys. Because
They reckon this is an unsolved mystery. The mysterious death of Tupac.
it's a conspiracy.
But that's a conspiracy, not an unsolved
Yeah, but it'd be
mystery.
good to talk about.
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right. So this one here,
Whoa,
guys.
Look at this. Should I do it just before you go?
All right.
This is an unsolved mystery, guys.
All right. Do it. And I'll do
The
this one
unsolved
next week.
mystery of 657 Boulevard. I am the Watcher. Apparently, is an unsolved mystery still, but it is. It's
Well, it
never been-
is. No
They
one
don't
knows.
know who was sending the letters.
No. But did anyone die? I can't remember.
Well, the neighbor did across
Neighbour
the
died.
road,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's fucked, isn't it? The Watcher thing is creepy.
It's creepy as man.
It's like it's not sick or anything, but when you watch it, it's fucking creepy.
It's creepy as. I did not like. It was very unsettling.
They did well, the act, like that Italian guy and Naomi Watts. They did well. I am the Watcher. And look, it even says it here. Look at this. It said that the letter started off by saying, "Dearest new neighbor at 657 Boulevard."
Oh, jeez.
And it says what I always say. We want to give the house what it wants, which is young blood. And we're like laughing about it.
Yeah, I know. It's the way you say it, man.
Yeah.
The way you say it. I don't
Anyway.
know. That one's. Go watch it, guys. It's actually a really good show.
Now it approaches its 110th birthday, the Watcher house, the actual house.
That far out.
Yeah.
So people still live there?
Well, they do, but the letter says my grandfather watched this house. So we've gone into it in the 1920s, and then he's like, we watched it in the 1960s. You know, like, so obviously it's been a thing going for fucking.
Jeez.
Is that the Cooper one?
Yeah, that's the one we're gonna do next.
Yeah, do that one.
We'll go. I reckon we'll do the watcher next week. Like we'll go.
Yeah, we can.
Go deep into it.
We can.
All right. So
It's 9:23. Have you got time?
I can do this quickly.
All right, let's do DB Cooper.
All right. Who and where is D.B. Cooper? All right. So this is an unsolved mystery. All right. So I'll go through
This
it.
one's trippy, eh?
It is. So the mystery occurred November 24th, 1971. Dan Cooper was a passenger on the Northwest Airlines Flight 305 from Portland to Seattle, a 30-minute flight. So this guy was on a plane flying from Portland to Seattle, right?
So like here to Melbourne, 30 minutes.
Yeah, basically. He was described by passengers and flight attendants as a man in his mid-40s wearing a dark suit, a black tie with a mother-of-pearl tie clip. I don't know what that means.
A clip,
Like
a,
a clip?
a pearl, what
Pearl-
you know, the
mother of
but I don't know
pearl
what
tie
a mother of pearl, but it's
I
a
don't know
tie-
exactly what it
obviously
looks like, but
some sort of tie clip.
and a
Let's
neatly
Google it.
pressed white collared shirt,
Let's Google it.
right?
Yep.
He took his seat, lit a cigarette.
You're allowed to smoke then.
You could smoke on planes, and politely ordered a bourbon and soda, for which he paid in cash. Shortly after takeoff, he handed a note.
Just so you know, guys, it's just a white pearl normal like tie.
Yeah, I
clip.
see it. He handed a note, a written note, to a 23-year-old flight attendant who ignored it, assuming it was just the man's phone number. Like, so the flight attendant probably thought he was trying to pick her up, right?
Yeah.
And he goes to the lady, Miss, you'd better look at that note, Dan Cooper told her. I have a bomb, he said to her. The note's exact wording is part of the mystery, since Cooper reclaimed it after the flight attendant read it. But his demands were for $200,000 in negotiable American currency, which is worth $1 million today, 4 parachutes, a fuel tank standing by in Seattle to refuel the plane on arrival. Right? The flight attendant brought the demand to the captain. The airline's president authorized full cooperation. The other passengers had no idea what was happening, having been told that the landing was delayed due to mechanical difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
At 5:39 p.m., the plane landed an airline employee delivered a cache filled with knapsack and parachutes, and Cooper allowed all passengers and 2 flight attendants to leave the plane. Right? During refueling, Cooper outlined his plan to the crew: a southeasterly course towards Mexico, with one further refueling stop in Nevada. 2 hours later, the plane took off. When it landed in Reno, Cooper's absence was noted. Cooper, whom the media mistakenly referred to as DB Cooper, was never seen or heard from again. No parachute was found, and the ransom money was never used. In 1980, a young boy on vacation with his family in Oregon found several packets of the ransom money. Identifiable by serial number, leading to an intense search of the area of Cooper or his remains. Nothing was ever found. For a time, it was speculated that the Mad Men's fictional Don Draper was the man who would become Cooper. In the real world, a parachute strap was found in 2017 at one of Cooper's possible landing sites. Stay tuned. And that was all that I found about it.
Joy says apparently sleuthers want that tie to sample DNA, but FBI refusing to supply it to them.
Why?
Because they might have DNA'd it already, the FBI, but who the fuck knows? I don't know.
So that's a weird one, man.
Yeah, that is a weird one. Good evening, Amanda. My nana had her own independent unit attached to Ashley Court Retirement. There you go. I highly doubt Cooper died from jump. He would have fled before the investigation.
Well, how can he just disappear? He just disappeared off the plane, mate. He was not there.
It's not like in
They didn't open the door and let him out. They would have known.
Well, Joy said he jumped off the plane at 8:13.
How?
Yeah, I don't know.
How did he jump off the plane? They didn't open the door.
8:13 p.m. he reckons. Don't know.
How?
Did he go down to the luggage area and
That's the only thing I could think of, maybe.
You know, like in Commando when Arnold Schwarzenegger goes to the luggage and jumps out that plane?
He could have. I mean, that's the only explanation.
Is that an unsolved mystery? You know, when Arnie kills that guy in the plane and he goes, "Can you please leave my friend alone? He's dead tired."
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Anyway, that's a weird one. I mean, what happened to him? That's an unsolved mystery. Who knows?
Boeing systems were outdated. You could open mid-flight. They realized drop in air pressure, Joy's saying.
Well, there you go. So he probably opened it up, put the parachute on.
Jump.
But he took 4 parachutes with him. Did he take the 4 parachutes with him?
So where did the other 4...
Or not? Did he leave them there? You know what's interesting about D.B. Cooper? The person who supplied their own parachutes to D.B. Cooper was murdered in cold blood in 2013. Found the murderer. Another mystery. That is weird.
So the person that supplied the parachutes got murdered and they've never found the murderer.
No. So that's weird, man.
That's a bit weird.
Isn't it? This sounds weird. Very weird.
Oh, the DB Cooper one's weird. Yeah, it's weird.
Like a man just comes out of nowhere, sits there, gives them a ransom letter.
Yeah.
I've got a bomb. I bet you there was no bomb.
Nah.
There was no bomb.
No.
But this guy actually
But why did he want to flee? Why did he want to erase himself off the face of the earth? There has to be a reason.
Well, they reckon they found some money, but not... Did they find all the money?
Don't know. Earl Crosley was the guy's name who was murdered. You know, this Unsolved Mysteries is... There's the other one, you know, that they're saying like the escape from Alcatraz is like an unsolved mystery because they never found the bodies. Did they escape? Did they get like... What this guy? What happened to this DB Cooper? What happened to him?
I don't know. Nothing. No one knows.
Did he want to erase himself off the face of the earth? Did he?
No one knows, man. No one even knows when he died. He could have changed identity. People change identities,
but they used to, yeah.
Well, no,
and
they still do.
But they probably did a lot then. It's probably easier to get away with it.
Like you probably, easier to do like fake passports and
100%.
stuff. Then now everything's digital.
Yeah,
it's a lot harder. But
now you could probably change your identity now in the same country, but back then they used to be able to make passports and shit and flee, especially in Europe.
Yeah, remember that movie where like this guy had all these passports? I can't remember what movie it was.
There's heaps of them. There was another person who did exact same thing as DB Cooper. 3 years later, demanded I can't say sure if that says 5 million or 50, but because of how far away it is, but was captured.
No, it's 500,000.
500,000, yeah.
Well, there you go, guys.
Have you guys heard of the guy who was found on the beach? No idea. Is that the guy, the Somerton guy in Adelaide?
No, never heard that.
Where was it, Reborn? Where? Tell me where. I'll Google it right now.
What I want you guys to do, especially the people in Australia, even Reebs, man.
Everyone, what I want you guys to do is get some unsolved ones for us.
And I want you guys to go and watch that Rachel Vaughan thing and just let us know what you think. And next week, we'll have a debrief on the show. And yeah, so I'll type it in the chat so you guys know exactly how it's spelt. So this is what you're going to be looking for, okay? On YouTube.
I have seen them, Paul. They're owned by the Federation. While Chris is searching for that, can I just do this one more time?
Join me. Perhaps
just put it in the
you
chat, guys.
may be able to help solve a
Make sure
mystery.
you type that in.
I got to hear it now that I've put it on.
What is it?
While Chris is searching for that, I just had to put this on. Yeah, that's Somerton, man. That's in Adelaide, Reeves.
That's here, man.
It's weird, man, the Somerton one. I'll read it for you quickly. All right, I'll read it for you quickly. I got it here.
Quick.
All right.
Guys, make sure I want everyone in the chat to go and find Rachel Vaughan testimony and it's on YouTube. Make sure you type in that in the search bar and we'll debrief it next week.
I'll read this one to you quickly, Reborn, the brief of it. So this is where we're from again, in Adelaide. How funny is it Reborn's talking about the one again from Adelaide?
Adelaide, from here.
All right. In December 1948. So that's, my dad's born 1946. That's 76 years ago.
It was 2.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying that's how long ago it was. So December 1948, a body was found on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia. The body was a man who was dressed impeccably. That's what I said to you before. In a suit with polished shoes, and his head was slumped against a wall. Authorities thought the cause of death was heart failure or more likely poisoning, but no trace of poison was found in the autopsy. There wasn't a wallet or any type of identification on the man, and all the tags from his clothing were cut out. The fingerprints that the authorities took of him were also unidentifiable. They even put a photo of the body in the newspapers, and still no one could identify who the man was. 4 months later, after the body was found, detectives found a hidden pocket that was sewn inside of his trousers.
Oh my
right?
God.
Inside the pocket was a rolled up piece of paper from a rare book called the Rubaiyat. Right? The piece of paper had the words Taman Should on it, which means it has ended. Right? After months of looking for the exact book, authorities decided to bury the Somerton man without identification. Although a cast was taken of the bust and he was embalmed to preserve him in. 8 months later, a man walked into the police station. He claimed that just after the body was found, he found a copy of the Rubaiyat in the back of his car that he kept parked near Somerton Beach. Right? He thought nothing of it until he read about the search in the newspaper article. Sure enough, the book had a part of the final page that was torn, and it matched the piece of paper that was found in the Somerton man's trousers. Inside the book were a phone number and some sort of strange code. The phone number led authorities to a woman named Jessica Thompson, who lived nearby. During the interview, she was very evasive and even claimed she was going to faint when she saw the bust of the Somerton man, but denied knowing him. However, she said she did sell the book to a man named Alfred Boxall. Unfortunately, Alfred Boxall was still very much alive and at the time still had the copy of the Rubaiyat that Jess had sold him. The code that was found ended up being even more unhelpful, and as of today, it is still yet to be cracked. To this day, the man on the Somerton Beach is yet to be identified.
No way.
So 76 years later,
No one knows who he
they
is.
still don't know who the fuck this guy is. Adelaide, Australia again.
Dude, whatever you guys did, don't come.
And he had a piece of paper on him that had a saying. What did it say? Let me read it again. Tumam should, which means it has ended. What's ended? His life? What? And all the pockets, everything was taken out, sewn out.
I want to read that. I want to research that more.
Yeah, we've got to research something.
I'm going to research that one more and get
How
back
funny
to
is
you.
that Reeves knows about it? Reeves in England.
Unbelievable.
You know what I mean?
Far out. Rachel Vaughan talks about how her sister went to major crime with evidence about people, and about 1 week later she was found in her house with a broken neck.
Rachel Vaughan was.
No, her sister.
Oh, her sister was. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Jeez. Yeah,
I reckon for part 2, you should reveal the list of cases that will be discussed if you want. I want to do some research. We might put it in the Discord. This one, research the Summerton Man one. That's number 1.
And as I said, look at Rachel Vaughan. Just go in there, just listen to her testimony, and we'll have let us know what you think of her Beaumont children. Whatever she has to say. What are other ones?
In the Discord, me and Chris will talk during the week, and we'll find out a couple that we're full on going to talk about, and we'll put it in the Discord so you guys can research it.
Yeah. Because there's so many. I've got other ones.
Yeah, there's heaps, man.
I want to go into the MH370 as well.
I reckon we talk about the Zodiac too, since it's a movie. So if you haven't seen the movie,
I might watch it.
Watch it.
Yeah, watch the movie Zodiac too, guys.
Yeah.
What's
it called? The Zodiac Code or something shit like that. Yeah.
But what's on the horizon, man?
Why are there so many in Adelaide?
Because Adelaide's crazy, mate. That's what I say. It's more. There's more than meets the eye in Adelaide, mate. I'm telling you now.
Definitely the Creamer and the Throne one. They went missing and all they found was a foot and a camera. Reborn, can you link exactly what it's... Put it in the Discord for us.
Put everything in the Discord, guys.
And we'll research that one, guys.
We'll research it and talk about it.
So that one there, that Reborn's going to put in the Discord, we'll do as well, guys, next week. So what's that? Kramer and Froon was obviously their names. Okay. They went missing and all they found was a foot...
And a camera. Jeez. That's crazy. I like talking about this stuff.
Adelaide is quiet. People will think they can get away with everything here, maybe.
I'm telling you, man, Adelaide, Joy, it's a crazy place. It's a nice, quiet place. It's busy like now, but like when we were growing up, it was quiet, right? It's a lot busier now. Obviously, there's nearly 1.5 million people here. Yeah. Nothing like Melbourne, nothing like Sydney.
Nah, no way.
But yeah, people used to get away with a lot here. Now I don't know if it's still happening. I reckon it's still shit happens here that we don't know about.
All I know is
it's crazy place, man.
All I know is
place. A lot of things happen in the shadows here.
All I know is I'm gonna go to bed believing that Hereditary is real in Adelaide. And there's some cult, and at the end they're gonna stab themselves.
I'm telling you, man.
What was her name? She was stabbing herself.
I'm telling you, when you hear, if you do watch the Rachel Vaughan thing, it's like when you hear about Crossroads and Edwardstown and all that. If you're close, if you live close by, it's
wasn't it Reborn? Wasn't it you that made us watch Hereditary?
It was
fucking Hereditary. KP, what do you think of the Home Alone commentary from? Funny.
I don't think he watched it.
And the King. What was it? What were they saying?
Nothing. We're just being dickheads. We're like, because that guy that scored the goal for us.
Yeah, Home Alone.
Yeah, like it doesn't look like Home Alone here. Just the pair.
Yeah.
And they were just going Home Alone. Yeah.
Oh.
It's just a bit of a funny thing.
Yeah, probably won't sleep tonight, Joyce.
I'm not going to sleep tonight either, man.
I'm thinking about her.
I've got to go. I actually got to go home and sleep now.
Yeah, we got to go, guys. That's why we started a bit early. So sorry about that,
But yeah, thanks for tonight, guys.
Thanks for the one viewer that's been here all night.
Yeah, thanks for the one viewer. I don't know what's wrong with the YouTube tonight.
But apparently we've got one viewer.
But we are going to be back tomorrow night. Watch along, Thursday night game, AFL back. And yeah, the whole weekend's going to be full of watch along. So, and then EPL Monday? No EPL Monday. EPL's finished.
EPL's finished, man.
So
FA Cup final this weekend. FA Cup final on Saturday.
Okay, so I don't know if you're going to do a watch along for that.
I'll see.
What time is it?
11:30, I think. I'll try. I'll see what I can do.
If not, there's going to be a lot of watch-alongs this week, man. Trust me.
And apparently, Chris this is led by Chris.
What?
Chris wants to do watch-alongs for the European Championship coming up.
I'd love to. So
I
love the World Cup, and
so we'll do a few Euro ones coming up. We're going to work out the times in conjunction with Germany, and we'll sort something out.
But yeah, thanks a lot for coming in, guys. And as I said, we'll be back next week with this one. And
16 likes, guys. If you're there,
zero.
Listen, we don't know how many viewers there are because something's wrong with YouTube. So if you're there, watching in the background, please remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Yep. That's it.
I don't know
guys.
why it's saying 1 viewer.
That's it, guys. Well, anyway, I gotta go because I gotta get
Yeah,
sleep.
we gotta go, guys. So,
But
thanks for coming in. Just for old time's sake, we'll put this on one more time. You ready?
Join me. Perhaps you may be able to help solve a mystery.
But yeah, thanks for coming
he's
in,
great.
guys. The boys will see you
Well,
Thursday.
yeah, guys. We'll be, as I said, we'll be live. The King will be back.
I didn't mean that. Sorry about that, guys. I accidentally.
Yeah, we'll be back. Yeah, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Pretty much all weekend. So you won't miss anything on HFD. Guys.
CGT. I'm going now to like. Always.
Rest in peace.
That's
Robert
that guy,
Stack.
Robert Stack.
He died.
Yeah, he's died. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
Rest in peace, man.
Chris just remembers him from basketball.
I do.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much. Sorry about that little outro there, but this is the real outro now. Take it easy.
Stay hunky, guys.